Today I will share with you some life-changing philosophy. Before we start, make sure to like the video and subscribe. Also, comment where are you watching from and at what time you are watching. Have a nice sleep. Are you your own boss? Not just at work or on paper, but in every aspect of your life, because this is a change you can make. You can learn to be fully and completely in charge of your own life. In this video, we'll give you a 6-step plan that will show you how to make it happen. Maybe you're thinking, I can't learn that through a video. My life is complicated. You don't understand. But this plan does work. If you'll commit to taking it seriously, it works because it addresses the one factor that remains constant across every personal struggle: you. Here's what we'll cover in our 6-step system to transform you from a passenger in your life to the commander of your soul. First, we'll start with the reality check that serves as our foundation. Second, extreme ownership, where you stop treating circumstances like a tragedy. Third, ending self-sabotage through decisive action. Fourth, practical Stoic principles for facing the chaos of life. Fifth, crafting a winning plan. And sixth, executing it with daily practices to put it all into action. It won't be comfortable and it won't be easy, but on the other side of this lies the vast, alarming, gorgeous range of possibilities awaiting those brave enough and strong enough to become their own master. Step 1. Face reality without flinching. You must start with honesty as your foundation. Let's be brutally honest. You aren't the master of your life right now. Not even close. You've created a gorgeous, idealized mirage of what control looks like. That perfect version of yourself who never procrastinates, never doubts, never surrenders to fear or comfort. But that mirage is precisely what's keeping you stuck. The foundation of self-mastery isn't some inspirational fantasy. It is the courage to look at your life exactly as it is, messy, imperfect, and occasionally disappointing. You weren't put on this earth to create a carefully curated existence, scrubbed clean of all inconvenience and challenge. You are here to experience the full, terrifying range of being human. Every time you flinch away from an uncomfortable truth about yourself, you surrender a piece of your power. Every time you blame circumstances instead of claiming responsibility, you become the passenger in your own life. Every time you convince yourself that someday you'll finally take charge, you're just postponing the moment of actual transformation. The illusion of control is seductive, precisely because it requires nothing of you. It lets you drift in a fantasy where someday, somehow, everything will magically align. The reality of self-mastery demands that you wake up to where you actually are. You can change what you are if you can recognize what that is first. This journey begins with this step. So take inventory. Where have you surrendered your power? Where have you chosen comfort over growth? Where have you been lying to yourself? This isn't about shame. It's about clarity. Because you can't steer a ship if you refuse to acknowledge which way it's actually pointing. And the moment you do is the moment things finally start to get better. Step 2. Extreme ownership. Now that you've faced reality, it's time to take what's rightfully yours, complete ownership of your life. How often do you find yourself playing the lead in your own personal tragedy, the victim of circumstances, bad luck, or other people's actions? This narrative is the single greatest obstacle between you and true self-mastery. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The world isn't. People aren't always kind. Circumstances won't always align with your desires. But that doesn't mean your life is a tragedy, unless you decide to write it that way. The ancient Stoics understood what many of us have forgotten. There's a fundamental dichotomy of control. Some things are within your power and others aren't. The weather, not yours to command. Other people's actions, not yours to control. Global events, outside of your reach. But your responses, your decisions, your focus, these belong entirely to you. When you live in a mental maze of perceived offenses and conspiracies against you, you surrender your power to the outside world. Every finger you point outward drains energy you could be using to build your own strength. Blame makes you smaller, not stronger. Try this exercise. Take 3 recent complaints you've made about your life and transform each into a commitment. My boss doesn't appreciate me. I commit to making my value undeniable. I don't have time for fitness. I commit to prioritizing my health. A bad person cost me an opportunity. I will create my next opportunity. I'm not pretending hardships don't exist. I'm saying you should refuse to surrender your power to them. When you embrace extreme ownership, you stop waiting for the world to make things right. You do something much better. You reclaim the power that was yours all along. Now that you've claimed ownership, it's time to stop. The most insidious form of self-sabotage: inaction. This brings us to our third principle, the imperative for action. You've felt it before, that feeling of anxiety when faced with important decisions or big tasks. We are taught that clarity comes before action, but this gets it backward. Taking action is what kills anxiety. Movement creates clarity when thinking can't. Let's call procrastination what it really is: self-betrayal. Every time you put off what matters, you're stealing from your future self. You're making secret promises you have no intention of keeping, accumulating a debt of broken trust with the person who matters the most in your life, you. Many take comfort in the myth that preparation equals progress. They research endlessly, plan meticulously, and organize obsessively, mistaking motion for action. But preparation without execution is just stalling. Your perfectly crafted plan means nothing if it stays theoretical. The cure for paralysis isn't perfect action, it's just action. Even imperfect actions create momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates results. Here's your exercise. Identify one action that genuinely terrifies you. Something important that you've been avoiding. That terror isn't a warning sign, it's a beacon, pointing directly to where your greatest growth will arise. Now, commit to taking that action within 24 hours, no matter what. Psychologically, your brain will naturally prefer the safety of planning over the vulnerability of doing. But real self-mastery happens in that vulnerable space, where you finally stop preparing to live and start actually living. Your future self is waiting for you to fulfill your promises, so fulfill them and start making good on your promise today. Step 4. Creating your mastery mentality now. That you've committed to action, it's time to develop the mindset that will sustain you as you work to reclaim ownership of all that you are. For most of us, the pursuit of comfort has become a modern religion, but comfort is the enemy of becoming. It lulls you into stagnation while whispering that you're safe. True safety isn't found in avoiding difficulty, it's in becoming the person who can face anything. Let's take stock of what a good life is. We are here to witness wild love and disappointment, unexpected sickness, and eventually death. This isn't pessimism, it's the truth. We face it head on so that we can move forward. When we accept the full spectrum of existence, we're not held hostage by the fear of what might happen. The ancient Stoics practiced amor fati, the love of fate. This is the radical choice to find beauty and lessons in whatever happens, not because everything is beautiful, but because this perspective gives you power no circumstance can take away. Here's an exercise to help put you back in control of your own life. Identify something you've been avoiding, a situation, an emotion, or a truth. Then, challenge yourself to find genuine beauty in it, if you can. If you can't find beauty, find a lesson. Something you can value, the pain that's making you stronger, the rejection that's redirecting you, the uncertainty that's teaching you to trust yourself. Do this to get stronger, as the ancient Stoics did before you. You can prepare for the blows of fate in small ways. For example, start practicing voluntary discomfort, cold showers, fasting, hard conversations, deliberately putting yourself in situations that challenge you. Train your mind to deal with uncertainty and tough situations. In short, in order to master your life, you must master yourself, and you can start by strengthening your responses under stress. True freedom isn't the absence of challenge. You will face challenges in this life. You can't change that, because it's certain. What you can change is how you respond to them with the help of Stoic wisdom. So focus on that, on developing a self that will triumph over everything, and you will be free. Step 5. creating a life of freedom. This brings us to our fifth step, creating a life of freedom, a life worth leading. But be warned, to create such a life, some things are going to have to go. True self-mastery requires the courage to cut what doesn't serve you. Most people accumulate commitments, relationships, and obligations until they're suffocating under the weight of their own lives. Being your own master means having the courage to say no, not just to others, but to parts of yourself that keep you small. Look at your calendar, relationships, habits. Which of these truly align with your deepest values? Which are simply the result of drift, people-pleasing, or fear? Past a certain point, freedom doesn't come from adding more to your life. It comes from ruthlessly eliminating what doesn't belong. Any plan you come up with must include strategic abandonment. Identify what you'll stop doing, what relationships you'll gracefully exit, what commitments you'll wind down, because to be truly free, you must reclaim ownership of your time and energy. But be prepared. People who benefit from your current boundaries will resist when you establish new ones. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Here's your exercise. Create 2 lists. One with everything that energizes you and aligns with your values, and another with everything that drains you or pulls you off course. Keep what is good, but commit to eliminating one item from the second list each week until it's empty. Remember, no one else will set you free. Liberation is an inside job that requires decisive action. The life you want is waiting on the other side of you saying no to the life you... Now it's time for our 6th and final step, the concrete practices that transform this plan into true experience. Self-mastery isn't a destination, it's a practice renewed with each sunrise. Begin each day by setting intentions that serve your highest self, not your most reactive self. The goal here is to choose deliberately. Ask yourself, if I were truly my own master, what would I prioritize today? Then act accordingly. Throughout your day, implement pattern interruptions. When you feel yourself slipping into old habits of blame or avoidance, pause. Take 3 deliberate breaths. This creates the space where choice lives. Without this space, you're like a broken record, running the same programs that have kept you stuck. With space and forethought, you can change. Life will test your resolve with disappointments and setbacks. Remember, you have to express your sadness, you have to mourn, but you can't treat your whole life like it's an unfair tragedy. Feel deeply, then choose wisely. Before sleep, conduct an honest inventory. Where did you lead yourself well today? Where did you abdicate your authority? This is the self-leadership you need to move forward, from the life you're living to the life you want. For the next 30 days, try to implement one practice from each section we've covered. Face one uncomfortable truth each morning. Take ownership of one situation you've been blaming on others. Take one imperfect action that terrifies you. Find beauty in one challenge. Eliminate one drain on your energy. Create one moment of deliberate choice. This is the daily workout regimen for the person determined to become their own master. The unburdened life is built one unburdened day at a time. If you can do this, you can get there. And that is how you become your own master. But don't think of it as some far-off dream. It's a choice you can make today. We've walked through 6 powerful steps that can transform you from just riding along in your life to taking the wheel with confidence. We started with raw honesty, looking at your life without the sugarcoating that keeps you stuck. This truth is your starting point. You can't find your way if you don't know where you're standing right now. So many people run from their truth, hiding in denial instead of finding power in facing reality. But you've chosen the harder, braver path, seeing yourself clearly, with all your strengths and flaws, with eyes wide open. By taking complete ownership, you've stopped seeing life's hard knocks as personal attacks and started seeing them as chances to show your strength. Playing the victim might feel good for a moment, but it leaves you chained to your circumstances instead of rising above them. Every time you blame others, you give away pieces of your power. By owning everything in your life, even the parts that aren't your fault but are now your problem, you take back control. After that, you faced down the near enemy, doing nothing. By understanding that clarity comes from taking action, not just thinking about it, you've broken free from the prison of endless planning and stepped into a world of real achievement. Life rewards movement, not just thinking about moving. Your willingness to act, even when scared, is ultimately what will set you free. Behind that, you have the Stoic wisdom you've embraced. This gives you a mindset that finds value in everything that happens, not just the easy stuff. You've learned that choosing discomfort on purpose builds the toughness you'll need when life throws discomfort at you without asking. By learning to love whatever happens, even the hard parts, you've found freedom within your circumstances, whatever they are. When you deliberately cut out what doesn't matter, you take back your time and energy from things that never served your highest goals. This careful pruning ensures that what's left truly matters. Your courage to say no shows the clarity of your yes. You understand now that adding without subtracting creates mess, not growth. Finally, you've woven these principles into daily habits that strengthen your control over your own life. These aren't one-time choices, but ongoing promises that build up over time, slowly transforming you into the master you were born to be. You've made space between what happens to you and how you respond, where your real power lives. And yet, for all this, there will be days when old habits creep back in, when staying comfortable feels better than being brave. In these moments, return to these principles, not with harsh judgment, but with renewed determination. The master falls but refuses to stay down. What sets the master apart isn't avoiding failure, but getting back up every single time. The world won't hand you freedom. You have to claim it through deliberate choices and consistent action. While others drift through life at the mercy of whatever happens, you now have the tools to stand firm in your power. You understand that freedom isn't having no limits, it's choosing how you respond to those limits. True power is about fulfilling the responsibilities you've chosen because they match what matters most to you. It's a journey that never ends. Each day brings new challenges to your mastery, new chances to strengthen your command. But with each conscious choice, each moment of taking responsibility, each brave action, you build momentum toward the life waiting for those brave enough to lead themselves. The question isn't whether you can become your own master. You now know the way. The only question left is, will you be brave enough to walk this path every day, to fail sometimes, to get back up, and to keep moving forward until mastery isn't just something you do, but who you are. By applying this system of mastery alongside your own Stoic insights, you'll not only lead yourself effectively, you'll develop an unshakable strength that no external circumstance can breach. The path to mastering yourself is built, one choice at a time. Now, go out there and do it. Did you know that the majority of walk through life feeling like we're not in control of our destiny? It's a common experience, feeling like you're being pushed along by circumstances, by other people's expectations, or even by your own fears and doubts. But here's a powerful thought from Stoic philosophy that might just change the way you see everything. You have power over your mind, not outside solemnity. Realize this and you will find strength. It's Marcus Aurelius reminding us that true power comes from within. Today, we're diving deep into the 6 rules to win in life, inspired by the resilience and wisdom of Stoic philosophy. These aren't just tips, they are transformational ways of thinking that can lead you to a life of real achievement and emotional strength. If you find value in what we're discussing here, do me a simple, free favor. Hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you might think. And stick with me, because each rule we're going to explore could be the key to unlocking a new chapter in your life. Whether you're looking for a complete turnaround or just a few tweaks to better align with your core values, today's episode is laid for you. Let's explore these ancient truths that continue to resonate so powerfully in our modern lives. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a new beginning. You look back and see your past mistakes made, opportunities missed, and the echo of what could have been ringing loud. But here's the thing, that past doesn't have the power to dictate your future unless you let it. This is where believing in your power to change creates a new chapter. And it's foundational to Stoic philosophy, which teaches us that we are in control of our perceptions and reactions. The Stoics, like epistemics, believe that our minds have the incredible power to shape our experiences and realities. He famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you embrace this mindset, you start seeing yourself as the powerful creator of your own life, not just a passive participant. You have the ability to sculpt your future, thought by thought, action. So, how do you start believing in your power to change? It begins with understanding that your mental and emotional muscles are just like physical ones. The more you use them, the stronger they become. Every moment you choose patience over frustration, positivity over negativity, action over procrastination, you are exercising those muscles. It's about making small, consistent choices that steer your life in a direction aligned with your deepest values. Exercise faith. You are exercising passion. You are exercising faith. You believing in your power to change also means stepping out of your comfort zone. The Stoics weren't about living a life of comfort. They were about living a life of moral virtue and personal accelerance. They challenged themselves to grow from every situation, especially the challenging ones. Marcus Aurelius viewed obstacles as opportunities. To him, what stood in the way became the way. When you start viewing your challenges through this lens, every obstacle becomes a stepping stone towards personal growth and resilience. Moreover, cultivating this belief requires you to look critically at the narratives you tell yourself. Are they narratives of empowerment or self-doubt? Start rewriting those stories. If you've always told yourself, "I'm not good at public speaking," start telling yourself, "I am improving at public speaking every day." Words have power, and by changing your words, you begin to change your reality. This belief in change is not just about personal affirmations. It's deeply practical. It involves setting clear, achievable goals and breaking them down into steps that feel manageable. It's about progress, not perfection. Celebrate each small victory along the way. These build up, reinforcing your belief in your ability to change and pushing you toward longer success. Stoicism also teaches the importance of reflecting on your day. Take a moment each evening to think about what went well and what could have gone better. This practice, known as the daily Stoic reflection, helps you become more mindful of your ability to influence your actions and reactions. It encourages a mindset of continuous improvement and adaptation, which is essential for personal growth. In embracing your power to change, remember that patience is your ollie. Change doesn't happen overnight. Just like the Stoics, you must be steadfast in your efforts, resilient in your setbacks, and always willing to learn from each experience. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward transforming your life. Believing in your power to change is ultimately about taking responsibility for your life. It's about making a conscious decision to not be defined by external circumstances, but by how you respond to them. It's a commitment to stop being an actor in someone else's script and start writing your own. So take that pen, face that blank page, and start crafting a story you'll be proud to live. One decision, one belief, one action at a time. Life isn't always going to hand you easy wins. Sometimes it feels like it's just piling on one challenge after another. But here's the scoop. The tough times, they're your secret weapon. It's in these moments, right in the thick of struggle, that the core of who you are is forged. Stoicism, a philosophy built on resilience and inner strength, teaches us just that. The Stoics saw every hardship as a chance to practice virtues like courage, perseverance, and adaptability. They didn't just endure struggles, they welcomed them as opportunities to grow stronger. When you start to embrace your struggles, you shift from feeling victimized by your circumstances to becoming a proactive partisan in your own life. Think about a time when something didn't go as planned. Maybe you lost a job, endured a tough breakup, or faced a health scare. Initially, it might have felt like the world was caving in, but upon reflection, you lately found that you gained something invaluable from each experience. Maybe it was a lesson in self-reliance, a clearer understanding of what you truly value, or the realization of your own resilience. Each struggle has the potential to teach us something profound. Embracing struggles also means maintaining a level head when things seem out of control. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Just like a diamond emerging brilliant and strong from pressure, our characters are shaped and perfected through the challenges we face. This perspective encourages you not only to survive tough times, but to thrive because of them. But how do you practically embrace struggle? Start by resetting your mindset. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What is this teaching me?" Every challenge comes with a lesson, and finding that lesson can transform a negative situation into a powerful catalyst for personal development. It's about shifting from a mindset of scarcity and fear to one of growth and opportunity. Additionally, embracing struggles involves staying present during tough times. It's easy to dwell on past misfortunes or worry about future difficulties. But Stoicism teaches the value of living in the present moment. This doesn't mean ignoring the past or future, but it does mean focusing on what you can control right here and right now. Often that means taking actionable steps to mitigate a problem, leaning into supportive relationships, or even just maintaining your mental composure. Building resilience is another practical approach to embracing struggle. Resilience doesn't mean you won't feel the pressure. It means you're equipped to bounce back from setbacks. You can build resilience by setting small, manageable goals, maintaining a routine that includes time for self-care, and continuously learning from each experience. Over time, what once seemed like insurmountable challenges will start to feel manageable. Even welcome tests of your growing strength. Lastly, share your journey. Connecting with others about your struggles and how you're working through them can be incredibly empowering. It not only helps you process what you're going through, but also inspires others who might be facing their own battles. Remember, embracing your struggles doesn't have to be a solitary journey. In true Stoic fashion, leverage your community for support, wisdom, and a little extra strength when needed. You know that feeling when you're around people who just get you, where the conversation flows, the ideas bounce back and forth, and you leave feeling energized rather than drained? That's no accident. The company we keep doesn't just influence our mood, it shapes our entire journey through life. It's crucial then to be intentional about whom we choose to spend our time with. Because, as the Stoics would remind us, our character is molded by our environment. Stoicism teaches us that personal growth and success are not solely the product of our own thoughts and actions, but also the influence of those we surround ourselves with. Seneca wrote extensively about the importance of friendship and its impact on our moral and ethical development. He suggested that we form bonds with those who embody the qualities we aspire to have ourselves, because habits, good and bad alike, are contagious. Consider this. If you're on a path to self-improvement, whether it's pursuing a new career, developing healthier habits, or cultivating a more positive mindset, having friends who not only support these goals but are also on similar journeys themselves can make all the difference. They aren't just cheerleaders. They understand your struggles, share insights, and inspire you just by being examples of what's possible. It's also about more than just mutual interests or goals. Surrounding yourself with the right people means seeking out those who challenge you in constructive ways. A true friend doesn't just pat you on the back. They challenge you to grow, to think differently, and to push beyond your perceived limits. In the context of Stoicism, this means engaging with people who question your assumptions and help you refine your reasoning and virtues. These interactions are invaluable because they force you to defend your ideas or consider new perspectives, leading to deeper understanding and personal growth. But let's be real, this isn't about creating an echo chamber. It's about cultivating a diverse network that enriches your life. It's about finding people who bring different perspectives, skills, and experiences to the table. Diversity in your circle encourages creativity and helps you see the world through multiple lenses, which is essential for developing a well-running character. Now, how do you find these right people? Start by being the kind of person you want to attract. Exhibit the qualities that you value in others: integrity, kindness, resilience, and curiosity. Show up as someone who adds value, who listens, and who cares. Then, look for those traits in others. Attend events that line with your interests. Join clubs or groups that reflect your values, and reach out to individuals who inspire you. Moreover, don't forget to prune your social circle when necessary. Stoicism doesn't just teach acceptance, it teaches discernment. It's okay to distance yourself from those who consistently drain your energy or detract from your growth. This isn't about being harsh or judgmental, it's about protecting your space and investing your time wisely. Remember, it's your right and responsibility to protect your peace and prioritize relationships that are truly reciprocal and beneficial. Let's face it, we all have those days when we're just not feeling it, whether it's hitting the gym, tackling that project, or even just getting out of bed. But here's where the real game changer comes in: staying the course even when the spark isn't there. Consistency isn't about having a constant rush of motivation, it's about commitment. It's what separates the dreamers from the doers, and it's deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. Stoicism teaches us about the importance of discipline and perseverance. For Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, life was about doing the work that needs to be done, regardless of how one feels about it. He famously wrote in his meditations about the necessity of getting out of bed, waking up with purpose, despite his personal reluctance. This practice of consistency isn't just about productivity, it's a form of ethical living. By staying committed to our goals, we line our actions with our values, creating a harmonious and meaningful life. So, how do we cultivate this kind of consistency? First, it begins with setting clear intentions. Know what you want to achieve and why it's important to you. This clarity will be your anchor on days when motivation wanes. Once your goals are set, break them down into manageable tasks. The idea is to create a routine that supports your ambitions, turning productive actions into daily habits. Over time, these habits build on each other, compounding into significant progress. It's also crucial to develop a mindset that embraces the mundane aspects of any journey. Stoicism doesn't glamorize the path to success. Instead, it allows us that much of life is about handling the ordinary with grace and commitment. Every small, consistent action is a building block for longer achievements. Whether it's writing a single page each day, practicing a musical instrument, or dedicating regular time to study, these aren't just tasks, they are stepping stones to mastery. Embracing the philosophy of amor fati, a love of fate, is another Stoic principle that can enhance your ability to stay consistent. This concept teaches us to love everything that happens, including the challenges and the seemingly repetitive or boring tasks. By learning to love the process, not just the outcomes, we find value in the persistence itself. This shift in perspective can transform our approach to daily tasks, turning them from chores into choices that define us. Of course, staying consistent is easier said than done. It requires you to keep pushing even when you see no immediate results. It's like planting a tree. You water it daily, not because you expect it to bear fruit overnight, but because you know that each drop contributes to its growth. Patience and persistence are key, and when you falter, as we all do, it's important to be kind to yourself. Reflect on what led to the lapse and how you can prevent it in the future. But don't dwell. Each day offers a new start, a fresh opportunity to reaffirm your commitment. Finally, accountability can play a significant role in maintaining consistency. Share your goals with a friend, join a group with similar interests, or keep a progress journal. These tools not only keep you accountable, but also provide support and encouragement along the way. Ever noticed how some of the best stories start with a stumble? Think about it, every hero faces their share of defeats before they save the day. It's not the setbacks that define them, but how they bounce back. That's not just a formula for good storytelling, it's a powerful lesson in life. Learning from failures isn't about glossing over them or pretending they don't sting. It's about mining them for insights and turning them into stepping stones. And this is where Stoic philosophy really shines, offering a timeless framework for turning adversity into advantage. Stoicism teaches us that every obstacle is an opportunity to practice some virtue: patience, courage, humility, resourcefulness. For Stoics like Epictetus, it was not the events themselves but our responses to them that mattered most. This perspective shifts how we view failures, from being endpoints to being part of the learning curve. Deaths are feedback, and feedback is the breakfast of champions. It tells you where the gaps are, what needs improvement, and how to refine your strategies. By embracing this mindset, you're not just recovering from a fall, you're preparing to leap. Think about the last time something didn't go according to plan in your life. Maybe a job interview went sideways, or a project you were passionate about didn't pan out. It's natural to feel a rush of disappointment, maybe even a bit of embarrassment. But once the dust settles, that's your moment to turn the spotlight on what went wrong. Dive deep. Were there warning signs you overlooked? Skills you might have underestimated the importance of? Mystics in communication, each of these elements holds a clue, a lesson that's tailor-made to help you grow. But it's not just about dissecting what went wrong, it's also about appreciating what this failure teaches about resilience and adaptability. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the impermanence of troubles and the resilience of the human spirit. He advised to meet challenges with dignity and to always be prepared to accept and adapt to our circumstances. When you learn from your failures, you're essentially training yourself to be more resilient. You're building a toolkit that equips you to handle future challenges with greater skill and confidence. Learning from failure also means learning to let go of fear. Often, it's not the failure itself that holds us back, but our fear of failing again. Here, too, Stoicism offers valuable advice. Focus on what's within your control. You can't change the past, but you can influence the future. You can decide how to react, what to learn, and what actions to take next. Instead of being paralyzed by fear, use it as fuel. Convert anxiety into action, and let your failures teach you how to be fearless. And remember, you're not in this alone. Share your experiences, the good and the bad. When you open up about your failures, you do two things. You normalize the learning process for everyone around you, and you allow others to learn from your experience as well. This not only strengthens your connections, but also builds a culture where failure is seen not as a source of shame, but as a common ground for growth. Life's like being in the driver's seat of a car on a vast, sprawling highway. You can stick to a familiar route, or you can turn off onto roads less traveled and explore new territories. The choice is yours, but remember, the journey doesn't stop unless you decide to pull over. Staying curious, hungry for knowledge, and open to change. These are the fuels that keep your engine running and your journey exciting. Embracing a mindset of constantly learning and self-improvement, which advocates for a life of constant learning and self-improvement. Stoicism isn't just about enduring life's challenges, it's about thriving through them by continuously adapting and growing. Consider the words of Seneca, who urged us to be a student always. He means staying in school forever. He means maintaining the mindset of a learner throughout your life. No matter your age, career, or stage in life, there's always something new to discover, and every experience offers a lesson to be learned. To never stop evolving means to make a conscious effort to push beyond your current boundaries. It's about setting new goals once old ones are met, and seeking challenges that stretch your abilities and force you to grow. It's also about reflecting on your personal and professional life regularly, identifying areas for improvement, and taking deliberate steps to address them. This kind of introspection and proactive change aligns closely with the Stoic practice of self-examination and discipline. Moreover, embracing change and seeking growth also involves cultivating adaptability, a trait highly regarded in Stoic teachings. Just like a tree that bends with the wind but doesn't break, being adaptable in the face of life's constant changes helps you not only to survive, but to thrive. It means not getting too attached to current successes or ways of doing things. Markets change, new technologies evolve, and by staying flexible, you remain relevant and vibrant. Part of never stopping your evolution is also about opening yourself up to new ideas and perspectives. It's easy to become comfortable with what you know and whom you know, but growth often lies in the unfamiliar. Listen to others, especially those who might see the world differently. Engage with content that challenges your existing beliefs and consider it thoughtfully. This practice not only broadens your understanding, but also deepens your capacity for empathy and connection. Stories also emphasize the role of community and personal growth. By surrounding yourself with people who are also committed to personal and professional growth, you create an environment that is conducive to continuous evolution. These relationships can provide motivation, insight, and feedback that are essential for personal development. They act like mirrors, reflecting your strengths and ideas that can catalyze your growth. Lastly, never stopping your evolution means embracing lifelong learning in its many forms. Whether through formal education, reading, travel, or engaging in new skills not only keeps your brain sharp, but also opens up new opportunities and ways of seeing the world. It helps keep life fresh and exciting. During that, you're not just passing through life, but actively engaging with it in meaningful ways. Some of the most difficult battles we face are the ones inside our own minds. The battles against doubt, fear, frustration, and sometimes even despair. Life throws challenges at us, often without warning, and how we respond to these challenges can define everything. Now, picture this. What if you had a mindset so unshakable, so resilient, that no obstacle could truly stand in your way? That's the kind of strength the Stoics dedicated their lives to developing. A mindset that can overcome anything because it's grounded in the unbreakable principles of wisdom, courage, and self-control. Today, we're diving into the wisdom of the Stoics, not as some ancient philosophy locked in the past, but as a practical toolkit that's just as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago. These are the lessons that have empowered people for centuries, from emperors to soldiers, and continue to guide millions. If you've ever felt like life is pulling you down, or if you're simply looking to build mental armor that can withstand any storm, stay tuned. By the end of this video, you'll have a blueprint for transforming your mindset, a way to build a mental fortress so that no matter what comes your way, you stand firm. So, if you appreciate what we're doing here and want to support the channel, a simple free favor you can do is hit that subscribe button and make sure not to skip any part of the video to fully grasp the transformative insights we're about to explore together. Let's get started. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to test your virtues, whether it's patience when you're stuck in traffic, resilience when you're dealing with loss, or courage when you're facing fears. The Stoics believed that it's not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters. This mindset transforms obstacles into stepping stones on the path to self-mastery. Now let's get practical. How can we truly embrace challenges? It starts with perception. Instead of viewing difficulties as impediments, see them as instruments for personal development. When something goes wrong, ask yourself, what can this teach me? This shift in perspective isn't just about finding silver linings, but about forging a robust character that thrives under pressure. Moreover, embracing challenges means staying present and engaged, not detached or indifferent. It involves an active engagement with whatever life throws your way, handling it with a calm mind and a focus on what can be controlled. Remember, the goal of Stoicism is not to diminish your emotions, but to channel them in a way that serves you and your community better. This Stoic approach doesn't promise an easy life. Instead, it offers a meaningful one. By consistently applying these principles, you'll find that you're not only capable of withstanding adversity, but also capable of flourishing because of it. Every challenge becomes a chance to demonstrate virtue and build resilience. So next time you find yourself in a tough situation, remember, it's not just a hurdle. It's an invitation to grow stronger and wiser. This principle teaches us that true wealth comes not from external possessions, but from the richness of our ideas and the strength of our character. Stoicism encourages us to shift our focus from acquiring material wealth, which is transient and often beyond our control, to developing robust, transformative ideas that can endure and truly impact the world. Think about it. The most influential people throughout history were not necessarily those with the most financial wealth, but those who offered groundbreaking ideas that reshaped society. From the philosophical insights of Marcus Aurelius to the innovative visions of modern thinkers and leaders, the real currency they dealt with was ideas. So how can we harness this power in our own lives? It starts with nurturing a mindset that values creativity and critical thinking over mere consumption. Stoicism prompts us to ask ourselves, are we merely accumulating things that will fade, or are we developing insights that will last? This isn't to say that money and resources aren't important. They are tools that can be used wisely, but they shouldn't be the end goal. Our aim should be to create and contribute, to think deeply about problems, and to come up with solutions that do more than just serve ourselves. Moreover, embracing the Stoic value of ideas over wealth involves understanding that personal growth and societal contribution are far more rewarding than material success. This perspective not only enriches our own lives, but also makes us valuable to others by fostering a culture of thought leadership and innovation. We can inspire those around us to also look beyond the superficial trappings of wealth and consider the lasting impact of their thoughts and actions. In a world increasingly driven by materialism, the Stoic focus on ideas over wealth is a refreshing call to refocus on what truly matters. It challenges us to be thinkers, innovators, and philosophers in our own right, to build legacies of wisdom rather than just wealth. The Stoics teach us that while we can't control external events, we can control our reactions and actions, shaping our own destinies through deliberate choices and purposeful living. This is not about forging a path in defiance of the world, but rather crafting a life that aligns with our deepest values and virtues. So, how do we start creating our own path? It begins with self-awareness. Stoicism encourages us to examine our lives critically and to question societal norms that might not resonate with our inner truth. Are we following a career or lifestyle because it's what's expected of us, or because it genuinely fulfills us? By reflecting on these questions, we can begin to carve out a life path that truly reflects who we are and what we believe in. Once we have a clearer sense of direction, the next step is to take action. Creating your own path requires courage. The courage to make unconventional choices, to step away from the beaten track, and to withstand the uncertainty and criticism that might come with such decisions. Stoicism equips us with the mental fortitude to handle these challenges by reminding us that our worth is defined by our actions and character, not by external approval or success. Additionally, creating your own path means embracing the concept of lifelong learning and adaptation. Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius were proponents of ongoing self-improvement and adaptability. They believed that a wise person is always prepared to adjust their course and learn from their experiences. This adaptable approach is crucial in a world that is constantly changing. It encourages us to remain open and responsive to new information and experiences, ensuring that our path remains relevant and aligned with our growth. Lastly, creating your own path isn't just about personal ambition. It's about contributing to society in a meaningful way. Stoicism teaches us to look beyond our individual desires and consider how our actions affect others. By choosing a path that contributes positively to those around us, we fulfill the Stoic ideal of living harmoniously within our community and the broader world. This interconnected perspective ensures that our path is not only self-fulfilling, but also socially responsible. Change is inevitable. Change is also the principle of life. That means that everything that is alive will change, and even things that are not alive will change. Stoics understand that change is the only constant in life, and they teach us to embrace it, not just passively, but actively. They encourage us to mold and be molded by the changes that come our way, ensuring our growth and refinement through every experience. The Stoic approach to change is rooted in the dichotomy of control, a fundamental concept introduced by Epictetus. It reminds us to differentiate between what we can control, our actions, responses, and judgments, and what we cannot, such as the actions of others, the past, and much of the external world. By focusing our energy on our own sphere of influence, we become more effective and serene. This perspective equips us with a mental framework for adapting to change by reducing anxiety over the uncontrollable and empowering us to act where we can. Moreover, adapting to change means maintaining an internal steadiness despite external fluctuations. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, advised us to be like a rocky promontory against which the waves constantly break. It stands firm while the turmoil of the sea falls still around it. This image is a powerful metaphor for Stoic resilience, the ability to maintain composure and clarity of judgment no matter how stormy life gets. This stability doesn't come from rigidity but from a deep understanding of and engagement with the natural flow of life. Practically, adapting to change involves continual self-assessment and adjustment. Stoicism promotes an ongoing dialogue with oneself, a kind of internal audit on how we are responding to daily changes and challenges. Are we reacting emotionally or are we responding thoughtfully? Are our actions consistent with our values? This reflective practice not only helps in managing immediate changes, but also in anticipating and preparing for future ones. Adapting to change in a Stoic sense means viewing each new circumstance as an opportunity for development. Every change, whether perceived as positive or negative, brings lessons and chances to refine our virtues, such as wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. For instance, a sudden hardship might provide an opportunity to practice fortitude and compassion, while an unexpected success might test and strengthen our humility and generosity. This isn't about making rigid plans that resist change, but rather about setting a course guided by our deepest values and virtues, ensuring that each step we take is intentional and meaningful. The Stoics often spoke about the importance of living with a purpose that transcends daily fluctuations and distraction. They argued that without a clear long-term vision, we are at the mercy of external events and impulses, tossed about like a ship without a rudder. A well-defined vision acts as this rudder, helping us navigate life's complex waters with direction and foresight. In practical terms, developing a long-term vision involves reflecting on what truly matters to us, what we value most in life, what kind of person we wish to become, and how we can contribute to the world around us. This vision should be resilient, capable of adapting to changes without losing sight of the overarching goals. For example, you might envision yourself as a lifelong learner, committed to personal growth and the betterment of society. How this manifests might change with circumstances, perhaps through career shifts, evolving relationships, or changing social contexts, but the core vision remains constant. Moreover, a Stoic approach to long-term vision involves preparing mentally for both success and setbacks. It teaches us to anticipate obstacles and view them as natural parts of the journey. This preparation is not pessimistic, but rather a form of realistic optimism. By considering potential challenges and visualizing how to handle them, we strengthen our resolve and flexibility, making us better equipped to persist toward our vision, no matter what life throws our way. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of aligning our vision with actions that are under our control. It's not enough to simply dream or plan. We must also take concrete, consistent steps toward realizing our vision. This means setting manageable goals, reflecting on our daily habits, and continuously adjusting our strategies to stay aligned with our long-term aspirations. Each small action should be seen as a building block toward a larger purpose, imbued with meaning and direction. Developing a long-term vision, in a Stoic sense, means embracing the journey as much as the destination. The true value of this vision lies not just in achieving specific goals, but in the growth and insights we gain along the way. Stoicism teaches us to value each moment and challenge as part of our overall development, reminding us that the path to fulfilling our vision is just as important as the end result. This introspective practice isn't just about self-improvement in a conventional sense. It's about cultivating a deep understanding of our thoughts, behaviors, and the motives behind them, aiming to align our actions with the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Stoicism teaches us to turn inward and examine our responses to the world. This self-examination is a critical tool for personal growth, as it allows us to identify areas where our perceptions or actions may not align with our ethical standards or desired outcomes. It involves asking ourselves challenging questions. Why did I react that way? What can this emotion teach me? How can I respond better in the future? This level of inquiry helps us not only understand ourselves better, but also facilitates greater control over our reactions and emotions. Furthermore, the Stoic practice of self-reflection includes a technique known as the evening review, where the day's events are replayed in the mind, not to dwell on them, but to evaluate and learn from them. This practice encourages a kind of daily mental cleanup, ensuring that we remain vigilant and conscious of our progress toward our personal goals. It helps cement the day's lessons and prepares us to face tomorrow with a clearer, more focused mind. In terms of personal growth, Stoicism promotes the idea that we should strive to be better than we were yesterday, rather than better than someone else. This philosophy teaches that comparison with others is a distraction and often a source of dissatisfaction. Instead, by focusing on our own path and progress, this inward focus fosters not only self-improvement but also self-acceptance, acknowledging that while perfection is unattainable, continuous improvement is both achievable and deeply fulfilling. Additionally, Stoicism doesn't shy away from the discomfort that often accompanies growth. It acknowledges that real growth can be challenging and uncomfortable, as it requires us to confront truths about ourselves that we may prefer to ignore. However, it also reassures us that this discomfort is a natural part of developing virtue and character. Each challenge and every discomfort is an opportunity to practice Stoic virtues, strengthen our resolve, and enhance our capacity for compassion and understanding. Personal growth and self-reflection in a Stoic context mean living consciously, deliberately, and ethically. They involve a continuous dialogue between our inner selves and the external world, allowing us to navigate life not as passive recipients of our circumstances but as active, ethical participants, shaping our lives with intention and integrity. Every hardship presents an opportunity to practice virtues like patience, endurance, and resilience. For instance, when we face a personal setback, we are given a chance to practice perseverance. When we encounter injustice, we have an opportunity to cultivate fortitude and advocate for fairness. The Stoics saw these moments as exercises, much like a runner uses hills to build strength. It's not about seeking out adversity, but when it inevitably appears, it's about responding in a way that aligns with our principles and enhances our character. Furthermore, Stoicism doesn't advocate for a passive acceptance of all adversity. Instead, it promotes an active engagement with life's challenges. This involves asking ourselves how we can use an adverse situation to our advantage or to the benefit of others. Can a tough situation teach us something valuable about ourselves? Can we find a way to turn a personal struggle into a source of inspiration for others? By actively seeking the value in adversity, we transform our struggles into lessons and our trials into triumphs. Self-reflection plays a critical role in this process. Stoics regularly engage in practices such as meditation and journaling to reflect on their experiences, including their encounters with adversity. This isn't about ruminating over what went wrong, but about extracting actionable insights that can lead to personal improvement and better outcomes in the future. This reflective process helps internalize the lessons learned from adversity, ensuring that each challenge faced contributes to a deeper understanding and a more resilient self. Moreover, utilizing adversity involves embracing a certain level of detachment from external conditions, Stoics strive to maintain inner tranquility regardless of external circumstances by focusing on what they can control, their responses and their attitudes. This detachment doesn't mean not caring about outcomes. Rather, it's about not being emotionally overwhelmed by them. It allows us to face life's ups and downs with equanimity and act according to our values, regardless of the situation. Utilizing adversity in a Stoic sense means transforming every challenge into a stepping stone toward greater wisdom and a more virtuous life. It encourages us to not only survive our struggles, but to use them as fuel for our philosophical journey, enhancing our ability to live a fulfilling and impactful life. In doing so, we not only better ourselves, but also potentially provide a beacon of hope and strength for others facing their own adversities. Leadership and influence are not about wielding power over others, but about leading by example and inspiring those around you with your virtue and integrity. Stoicism teaches that true leaders are those who govern their own lives with wisdom and justice, and whose actions encourage others to do the same. This approach to leadership emphasizes personal character and ethical behavior as the foundation of genuine influence. In Stoic thought, leadership starts with self-mastery. Before one can effectively lead others, one must be in command of oneself. This means practicing self-discipline, managing one's emotions, and making decisions that reflect a commitment to the common good rather than personal gain. It involves cultivating virtues like courage, temperance, prudence, and justice. A Stoic leader models these virtues, demonstrating through their own behavior how to live a good life. Their influence, therefore, is not enforced through authority, but naturally radiates out, compelling others by the example they set. Moreover, Stoicism holds that effective leadership is about contributing to the well-being of others and the community as a whole. It's about service rather than status. This perspective encourages leaders to focus on how they can help others grow and succeed, fostering an environment where the team or community can thrive. By prioritizing the needs and welfare of others, Stoic leaders build trust and loyalty, which are essential for any influential. Communication also plays a critical role in Stoic leadership. A Stoic leader communicates clearly, honestly, and with the intent to enlighten and improve the situations they are involved in. They listen attentively, seek to understand different perspectives, and respond thoughtfully. This open and respectful communication style not only helps in resolving conflicts and finding common ground, but also strengthens the leader's influence by establishing them as fair and reliable. Another important aspect of leadership in Stoicism is adaptability, the ability to remain steady in the face of change and uncertainty. Stoic leaders recognize that they cannot control all external events, but they can always control their responses. This resilience enables them to guide others through crises and challenges with calmness and clarity, providing a stable anchor for their team or community. Stoic leadership involves lifelong learning and reflection. Stoic leaders are committed to their own personal growth and are continually seeking knowledge and wisdom that can enhance their leadership skills and ethical understanding. They are reflective about their actions and open to feedback, always looking for ways to improve and better serve their community. This is an essential part of Stoic practice, allowing you to pause, assess, and recalibrate your path according to the principles and values you hold dear. It's about looking back, not just to reminisce or regret, but to understand and learn. This introspective process is crucial because it helps you appreciate the distance you've traveled, acknowledge the lessons learned, and use that knowledge to shape a more purposeful future. Stoicism teaches us to view life as a series of opportunities for growth. Every experience, whether deemed successful or fraught with challenges, carries with it valuable lessons. By reflecting on these experiences, we engage in a thoughtful analysis of our actions and decisions, discerning whether they align with the Stoic virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. This isn't about judging ourselves harshly, but about approaching our past with a compassionate and constructive mindset that is keen on continuous improvement. In this reflection, consider the times when you faced adversity. How did you respond? Did you react with frustration and anger, or did you find a way to remain composed and make reasoned decisions? Each instance provides insight into your character and resilience, offering clues on areas where you might strengthen your Stoic practice. Similarly, reflect on your moments of joy and success. These too can teach you about who you are and what matters most to you, reinforcing your commitment to those values. Furthermore, reflecting on your journey involves acknowledging the transient nature of life, a key Stoic concept. Everything, our successes, failures, joys, and sorrows, is temporary and must be appreciated in the moment, yet held loosely as we move forward. This awareness fosters a deep sense of gratitude for the present and a readiness to face the future, no matter what it may bring, with open arms and a willing heart. Finally, sharing your reflections can be incredibly powerful, not just for your own growth, but also as a way to influence and inspire others. By discussing your journey, you contribute to a broader dialogue about how to live a good life, encouraging others to reflect on their own paths and perhaps discover the Stoic way for themselves. Imagine standing on the edge of your greatest potential, but feeling something holding you back. That's self-doubt, quietly eroding your dreams and confidence. Real confidence isn't just a feeling, it's a skill, a mindset that shapes your path in life. The level of success you achieve is strongly tied to how much you believe in yourself. Think about how often raw talent and potential are held back by fear and uncertainty. So, think happiness without fear and uncertainty. Today, we're going to explore practical, powerful tips designed to help you build your self-confidence. These aren't just ideas. They're real, actionable steps that apply to everyday life, created to guide you toward becoming your best self. Remember, building self-confidence isn't about changing who you are. It's about removing the doubts that hide the strong, capable person you've always been. Before we get started, if you find this helpful, please like the video to help spread the message. Now, let's jump in. Number 1, understand yourself. Discovering who you are isn't just a journey, it's the foundation of regaining lost self-confidence. Take a moment and think about what drives your actions. Are they fueled by genuine beliefs, or are you just mirroring what's expected of you? The essence of Stoicism, as taught by thinkers like Epictetus, lies in this introspection. It's not just about identifying your strengths and weaknesses, but understanding the core of your being. This deep self-awareness is the secret to authentic self-confidence. It's a transformation that begins within, by aligning your actions with your true self. Day life throws challenges our way, and our immediate reactions often define us. When faced with these moments, pause and reflect. Are your responses a true reflection of your beliefs, or are they knee-jerk reactions to external pressures? Building self-confidence is about more than just being brave. It's about making choices that resonate with who you really are. This authenticity breeds confidence that resonates higher when you act in harmony with your true self. Each decision reinforces your self-belief, nurturing a confidence that's deeply rooted and unwavering. Number 2, focus on what really matters and ignore the rest. Stoicism isn't just an ancient philosophy. It's a beacon for modern souls swimming in a sea of distractions. Think about the last time you truly felt in control. Was it when your mind was jumping from social media alerts to the latest news, or when you were deeply immersed in something that really mattered to you? Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, wisely said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it. Your focus shapes your reality." It's a powerful tool, yet so many of us let it rust in the hustle of everyday life. Regaining focus means identifying what steals it. Maybe it's the constant buzz of your phone, the desire to please everyone, or worries that cloud your thoughts. Recognize these thieves and consciously limit their power over you. Set boundaries, like tech-free hours, or practice the art of saying no to demands that drain your energy. Strengthen your focus like a muscle. Meditation isn't just trendy. It's a time-tested method to anchor your thoughts in the present. Start your day by asking, what's the one thing I need to achieve today? This clarity cuts through the noise, making your actions more intentional and your path more confident. Remember, focusing is more than a skill. It's your gateway to inner peace and self-assurance. By channeling your attention to what's crucial, You're not just ticking off tasks, you're building a fortress of calm in a chaotic world. This is the Stoic way, understanding that the power to focus isn't just about getting things done, but about crafting a life of purpose and confidence. Number 3. Understand that some things can't be changed. Have you ever felt like you're pushing against an immovable wall? It's exhausting and honestly a bit pointless. That's the thing about life. Some aspects simply won't budge, no matter how hard we try. But here's a powerful twist from Stoicism. It's not about how hard you push, but knowing what to push and what to let be. This is the crux of regaining your lost confidence. It's not about surrender, it's about smart strategy. Let's break it down. We all have moments when we feel helpless, like we're trapped in a whirlwind of things we can't control. This is where modern Stoic wisdom kicks in. Ask yourself, am I trying to control the uncontrollable? Here's a reality check. We can't dictate others' actions, reverse time, or foresee the future. But here's your power play. Focus on what you can influence. Your reactions, your decisions, and your actions. These are your true dominions. By shifting your energy here, you become stronger, more adaptable, and most importantly, more self-assured. It's like honing your skills in a game where you know the rules and play your best moves. Consider this. Accepting the unchangeable isn't about passive resignation. It's about strategic focus. When you stop wrestling with the past or future, you're free to excel in the present. Learn to treat yourself with kindness, especially when things don't go your way. Everyone stumbles. That's not just okay, it's essential for growth. This mindset doesn't just make you more confident, it embeds a sense of calm wisdom in your daily life. You're not just growing in confidence, you're evolving into a wiser, more serene version of yourself, living a life that's richer and more meaningful. Remember, true confidence isn't about dominating every aspect of life. It's about mastering your responses and focusing on your strengths. You're not just surviving the storm, you're learning to dance in the rain. Number 4, grow your humility. Embracing humility is like unlocking a secret door to confidence. It's not about dimming your light. Rather, it's about recognizing there are millions of other lights shining around you. We often trip over our own pride, mistaking it for confidence. But here's a truth that has stood the test of time, stretching back to the wisdom of Stoic philosophers like Epictetus. True knowledge begins with the admission of ignorance. The humility is your foundation for growth. Imagine humility as soil, rich with potential. Just as a plant doesn't shoot up overnight, neither does genuine confidence. It's a daily practice. Listen more, talk less, and understand that your point of view isn't the only one. When you succeed, remember the contributions of others. There's strength in realizing that everyone has something to teach you. Our world today often values appearances over authenticity, but beneath this veneer, the craving for real connections is palpable. Humility opens doors to these connections. By acknowledging that you're part of a larger whole, you're not downplaying your worth, you're enhancing it. Every person you meet carries a universe of experience different from yours. Learning from them doesn't make you smaller, it makes your world bigger. And in this expanded world, your confidence finds its true north. When you credit others for their successes and see their value, you're not just showing respect, you're weaving a rich tapestry of perspectives. It's not about who's right, it's about being open to the endless learning that life offers. This approach not only deepens your relationships, but also solidifies your confidence on a foundation of mutual respect and continuous learning. The journey of humility is also an inward one. It involves the courage to look at yourself honestly, to acknowledge your mistakes, and to take steps to correct them. This self-awareness is a powerful tool for growth. It's about being grateful for your life, your loved ones, and the opportunities that come your way. Gratitude keeps you grounded and connected, reminding you that you're part of something bigger. As you cultivate humility, you don't just grow in confidence, you become a beacon for others, inspiring respect and admiration. Remember, a wise 21st century Stoic sage knows that humility isn't a sign of weakness, but a badge of strength, a testament to your willingness to learn, to grow, and to connect deeply with the world around you. As we continue exploring this topic, if anything has resonated with you so far, I encourage you to share your thoughts below. A brief comment like, "I believe in myself," is a wonderful way for us to connect. And if you're looking forward to more videos like this, hitting the subscribe button is the way to go. Now, let's further unravel the nuances of our discussion. Number 5. Build up your toughness. Toughness isn't a gift at birth. It's a skill honed through life's fires. Stoicism teaches this art beautifully, turning life's harshest lessons into our greatest strengths. Think of toughness as your shield in life's battles, not just to withstand blows, but to emerge victorious, learning and growing with each challenge. As the wise Seneca said, "It's not the events but our reaction to them that truly defines us." Part 2 contest completed. Every stumble, every faltering step is a chance to rise stronger. When life throws curveballs, instead of shrinking back, ask yourself, what lesson lies here? This shift in perspective transforms each obstacle into a stepping stone, edging you closer to wisdom and resilience. Resilience is the heart of Stoic toughness. It's about facing challenges with courage, not avoidance or fear. Each time you overcome a hurdle or confront a fear, you're not just surviving, you're evolving into a more confident and capable individual. Remember, resilience isn't just about enduring the storm, it's about learning to dance in the rain, whether it's tackling a long overdue task or navigating through personal loss. Approach each situation with a Stoic mindset. Focus not on the event, but on how you handle it. Face life's trials with confidence, knowing that each one is an opportunity for growth and fortification. True Stoic toughness involves a blend of acceptance, long-term vision, gratitude, and community. Understand that life's path isn't always smooth or fair, but it's traversable with strength and grace. This acceptance isn't surrender, but a recognition that challenges are integral to life and that we're well equipped to handle them. Toughness also means looking beyond today's troubles, considering how current struggles will shape your future resilience, and cultivate gratitude. It's a beacon of hope in tough times, transforming your perspective on challenges into opportunities for growth. And don't underestimate the power of community. Surrounding yourself with supportive people not only uplifts you, but also reinforces the idea that you're not facing life's battles alone. This Stoic journey of building toughness is a lifelong commitment to growth and learning. Every experience, joyous or challenging, is a lesson in understanding yourself and the world around you. Embrace life's fluctuations with the trust that you have the strength and wisdom to thrive, no matter the obstacle. In essence, Stoic toughness is a profound roadmap for navigating life. It teaches us to face difficulties head-on, learn from them, and harness them to build our confidence and resilience. By embracing Stoicism, we don't just overcome challenges, we transform them into catalysts for becoming wiser, stronger, and more self-assured. Number 6. Know and live by your personal beliefs. Have you ever felt like you're drifting, unsure of where you stand in the swirling currents of life? It's a common feeling, but there's a powerful anchor available to you: your personal beliefs. These aren't just idle thoughts, they are the bedrock of genuine, enduring confidence. Think of your most cherished values: honesty, loyalty, bravery, kindness. These aren't just words. They're signposts guiding your journey. Living in harmony with these values isn't a casual affair. It demands daily commitment, a steady hand steering the ship of your life through both calm and stormy seas. Now, let's talk about integrity, a word as strong as steel. Living with integrity means your actions are in perfect sync with your beliefs. Yes, it's challenging, especially when the world tries to sway you from your path. But here's where the transformation occurs. Every time you choose to be true to yourself over the easier path, your self-esteem skyrockets. You're not just saying your beliefs matter. you're proving it through action. This isn't about grand gestures. It's found in the everyday choices. If honesty is your mantra, then let truth be your language, even when lies seem easier. If kindness is your heart's call, extend it in silent, unseen acts. These small steps forge the path to becoming who you aspire to be. Remember, perfection isn't the goal here. It's about recognizing your missteps and growing from them, turning stumbling blocks into stepping stones. Stay here. Understand that living by your values isn't just a personal victory, it's a beacon for others. When you steadfastly adhere to your principles, you become a living example of authenticity and trustworthiness. This alignment between belief and action doesn't just bring inner peace, it earns the respect and trust of those around you. More than that, it means holding yourself accountable. Own your actions and their consequences, good or bad. Regular self-reflection is key. Take time to ponder your choices, ensuring they align with your core values. This isn't a one-time exercise, but a lifelong journey of growth and self-improvement. In embracing your beliefs and living them out loud, you become more than just confident. You become a guidepost, a source of inspiration, and a testament to the unshakable power of living a life true to oneself. Number 7. Practice gratitude daily. Gratitude, often whispered in the winds of Stoicism, is a mighty tool in regaining lost self-confidence. It's not just about the grand gestures of life, but also embracing the everyday joys and victories. Picture this. You wake up, and instead of letting worries cloud your thoughts, you pause. You find 3 simple things to be grateful for. Maybe it's the chirping of birds outside your window, the comfort of your favorite t-shirt, or even the text message from a friend. This isn't just feel-good advice, it's a strategy. By recognizing the good, you shift your focus from what's missing to what's present, cultivating a mindset that sees the glass as half full, not half empty. But gratitude isn't a solo journey. It involves acknowledging the roles others play in your life. Take a moment to appreciate the barista who perfects your morning coffee, or the coworker who always lends an ear. Saying thank you might seem simple, yet it builds bridges and forges connections. It's about seeing the value in the support and kindness around you, creating a network of positivity. And when life throws challenges your way, gratitude teaches you to see them not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. Each difficulty becomes a chance to learn, grow, and understand the intricate tapestry of life's experiences. This mindset doesn't just build resilience, it deepens your appreciation for the complex journey of life. As you weave gratitude into your daily life, remember it's a skill honed through practice and patience. It's about finding beauty in the mundane and learning from the struggles. With each day of gratitude, you're not only rebuilding your self-confidence, you're sculpting a life filled with appreciation and understanding. This journey of gratitude is like nurturing a garden. It requires attention, care, and time, but the blooms that follow are vibrant with self-assurance, resilience, and a deep-seated understanding of life's value. So start today. Find your 3 gratitudes and watch as your world transforms, one thank you at a time. Number 8. Embrace learning and curiosity. Do you ever feel lost in the maze of self-doubt? It's a common trap, one that saps your self-confidence. But there's a light in that maze, a beacon to guide you out, learning and curiosity. This isn't about cramming facts from textbooks. It's about a hunger to know more, about the vast, diverse world, and crucially, about yourself. Remember Epictetus, the Stoic sage. He said, "Only the educated are free." He wasn't just talking about formal education. He meant the liberation that comes from daily learning, be it a quirky fact, a new skill, or seeing the world through someone else's eyes. This journey of continuous learning does more than just fill your head with knowledge. It keeps your mind sharp, engaged, and adaptable. Think of it as mental gymnastics, where each new piece of knowledge is a new move, making you more flexible and prepared for life's unexpected flips and turns. And it's not just about you. By understanding different viewpoints, you're not just expanding your mind, you're growing your heart. Talking to people with lives and beliefs different from your own doesn't just teach you new things. It builds empathy, respect, and a genuine appreciation for the colorful tapestry of human experience. So, how do you start? Make a personal pledge. Learn something new every day. It doesn't have to be grand. Even the smallest pebble of knowledge can start an avalanche of understanding. Read a book from an author whose background is different from yours. Strike up a conversation with a stranger. Or simply observe the world with a curious eye. This path of learning and curiosity isn't just a route to regaining your confidence. It's a lifelong adventure that makes you a more informed, empathetic, and adaptable human being. And in this ever-changing world, those are the true markers of wisdom and strength. Did you know that the secret to transforming your life's biggest challenges into your greatest opportunities might have been discovered over 2,000 years ago? Imagine facing life's storms with a calm so powerful that nothing could shake your inner peace. Sounds like a superpower, right? Well, it's not just a fantasy. This ancient superpower is an age-old philosophy that's as practical today as it was in the bustling markets and marble halls of ancient Rome and Greece. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control every aspect of our lives, we have absolute power over how we choose to react. And in today's world, where uncertainty seems to be the only certainty, these teachings could be the anchor we've all been searching for. So, whether you're dealing with stress, facing adversity, or simply looking to find more joy in the everyday, stick around. Today, we're diving deep into Stoicism, uncovering its timeless wisdom, and discovering how it can transform not just the way we think, but the way we live. 1. Focusing on what's in your control. Have you ever found yourself stuck in traffic, fuming over the delay, or scrolling through your phone only to get upset over a negative comment someone left on your post? It happens to the best of us. It's almost like our day-to-day life is filled with these little tests, challenging our mood and peace of mind at every turn. But here's a game-changing perspective from the world of Stoicism that can turn all that frustration on its head. Stoicism, this incredible philosophy that dates back to ancient Greece and Rome, hands us a powerful tool, focusing on what's in our control. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Think about that for a second. Traffic, bad weather, negative comments, these are all outside our control. We can't change them, no matter how much we wish we could. What we can change, however, is how we react to them. This idea isn't just ancient wisdom, it's backed by modern psychology too. Carl Jung, a giant in the field of psychology, famously stated, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." This aligns perfectly with this practice. It's about recognizing that the only real power we have is over our own reactions, thoughts, and actions. Let's break it down a bit. Say you're in that traffic jam, late for an important meeting. You can spend that time stewing in anger, honking your horn, and stressing out, which, let's be honest, won't make the cars ahead move any faster. Or you can take a deep breath, accept the situation, and maybe use the time to listen to a podcast, an audiobook, or simply enjoy some music. The traffic hasn't changed, but your response to it has. And with that shift, your stress levels drop, and your day looks a bit brighter. This principle of focusing on what you can control extends far beyond just dealing with traffic or weather. It applies to our personal goals, our reactions to others, and our approach to obstacles in life. As Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic heavyweight, reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So, next time you find yourself getting worked up over something outside your control, remember these wise words from our friends. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If it's not, let it go. Focus on your reaction, your mindset, and your actions. This simple shift can have a profound impact on your stress levels and overall happiness. It's not always easy, but it's worth practicing every day. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection. And as we learn to focus more on what's in our control, we'll find ourselves not just surviving life's challenges, but thriving in spite of them. 2. Embracing obstacles as opportunities. Stoicism teaches us the art of embracing obstacles as opportunities. It sounds counterintuitive, right? Most of us are programmed to view obstacles as just that, barriers to our success and happiness. But Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus flip this narrative on its head. They tell us, when life throws you a curveball, instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What can I learn?" This is a game changer. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, penned in his personal writings, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." What he means here is that every obstacle, no matter how daunting, not only tests our resilience, but also teaches us valuable lessons. It's about finding the silver lining in tough situations and using it to fuel our growth. This perspective isn't just ancient philosophy. It's backed by modern thinkers too. The famous psychologist Carl Jung said, "What you resist persists." By fighting against obstacles, we give them more power over us. But by accepting and learning from them, we can overcome them. This mindset is about transforming challenges into stepping stones towards becoming stronger and wiser. Let's make it practical. Say you're facing rejection from job applications. It's easy to fall into a spiral of self-pity and doubt. But what if you viewed each rejection as feedback? Maybe there's a skill you need to improve, or a new strategy for your job search. That shift in perspective can turn a series of rejections into a path for professional development. Another example is personal conflicts. They're uncomfortable and stressful, but they also offer a chance to practice patience, empathy, and communication skills. Every disagreement is an opportunity to understand different viewpoints and refine our conflict resolution abilities. The essence of embracing obstacles as opportunities lies in asking ourselves, what can this situation teach me? Instead of being passive victims of circumstance, we become active learners and problem solvers. This doesn't mean that facing obstacles becomes easy, but it does mean that we approach them with a mindset geared toward growth and learning. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is the heart of Stoicism. It's about seeing beyond the immediate pain or frustration of an obstacle and finding the lessons and opportunities it presents. So, when you're faced with a challenge, big or small, try to pause and reframe it. Ask yourself what you can learn from the situation and how it can make you stronger and wiser. Remember, obstacles aren't just hurdles to overcome, they're opportunities to grow. By adopting this mindset, we can navigate life's ups and downs with more grace, resilience, and wisdom. 3. Living in the present moment. It's something we hear about all the time, right? Live in the now. But what does that really mean, and why is it so important? Living in the present moment is about fully embracing and experiencing where you are at this very second, not letting your mind wander off to the worries of tomorrow or the regrets of yesterday. It's about realizing that life, with all its beauty, challenges, and surprises, happens in the now. This concept isn't new. It's been a cornerstone of philosophy, echoed by great minds like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, and reiterated by modern psychologists and thinkers. Let's start with the Stoics. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future. concentrate the mind on the present moment. He understood that the power of living in the present lies in its ability to ground us, to clear our minds of distractions, and to allow us to appreciate the richness of life as it unfolds. But why is it so hard to stay present? Our minds are often cluttered with thoughts, worries about what's next, or replaying things that have already happened. This constant mental noise pulls us away from the beauty and potential of the here and now. As the famous psychologist Carl Jung put it, the least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. Living in the present moment gives meaning to the small, everyday experiences, enriching our lives beyond measure. Aristotle talked about the importance of being mindful of the present to achieve eudaimonia, or a state of being happy, healthy, and prosperous. He believed that by focusing on the here and now, we could live a virtuous life, making the most of our human experience. So, how can we practice living in the present? It starts with mindfulness. The art of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When you eat, savor each bite. When you walk, notice the feeling of the ground under your feet. Listen actively when someone is speaking to you, instead of planning what you're going to say next. These simple acts of mindfulness bring us back to the present, making our lives richer and more meaningful. Seneca offered this wisdom. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. He understood that anxiety about what's to come or what has been only serves to diminish our happiness in the now. Living in the present isn't about ignoring the future or forgetting the past. It's about finding a balance where we learn from our past and plan for our future, without letting those activities consume our present. It's in this balance that we find peace and contentment. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to reset and refocus on the now. It's in the present that we live, love, and make memories. So, let's make a conscious effort to be more present in our lives. Let's cherish the now, for this moment, right here, is where life truly happens. 4. Building self-discipline. I know the word self-discipline might bring to mind images of rigid schedules and a life devoid of fun, but let's reshape that picture together. Self-discipline is not about restricting your life. It's about empowering yourself to make choices that align with your deepest values and long-term aspirations. It's choosing what's right for you, not what's easy in the moment. At its core, building self-discipline is about mastery over ourselves. It's about saying yes to things that serve us and no to things that don't, even when it's tough. Think about it, whether it's sticking to a workout routine, saving money instead of impulse buying, or turning off Netflix to focus on a project. These choices might not deliver instant gratification, but they pave the way for long-term satisfaction and success. Stoic philosophy has a lot to say about self-discipline. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This powerful statement highlights the essence of self-discipline. It's about controlling our impulses, emotions, and actions despite the external temptations and distractions that life throws our way. Seneca offers wisdom on the subject too. He advises us to be steadfast and control our desires, rather than being controlled by them. He understood that true freedom comes from within, from our ability to govern ourselves and our appetites. But why is self-discipline so critical? Aristotle, the ancient Greek philosopher, sheds light on this. He believed that we achieve excellence and virtue through habit. By practicing self-discipline, we cultivate habits that lead us toward our best selves. It's not about occasional acts of willpower, but about consistently making choices that reflect our values and goals. Building self-discipline also ties into modern psychological understanding. Carl Jung, a pioneer in psychology, emphasized the importance of integrating all aspects of our personality to live fully. This integration requires self-discipline, as we must navigate the desires of different parts of our psyche, choosing paths that contribute to our overall well-being and growth. So, how can we build self-discipline in our daily lives? Start small. Pick one area you want to improve, whether it's your diet, exercise routine, or spending habits. Set clear, achievable goals and take it one day at a time. Remember, every time you make a choice that aligns with your goals, you're building the muscle of self-discipline. Epictetus reminds us, no great thing is created suddenly. Self-discipline is built through small, consistent actions. It's about progress, not perfection. Every day presents new opportunities to practice self-discipline, to choose actions that move us closer to who we want to be. Building self-discipline is a journey. It's about finding balance between what we want now and what we want most. It's about making choices that might be hard in the moment, but will bring us closer to our goals, happiness, and peace in the long run. No, let's commit to this journey together, supporting one another and choosing what's right, not what's easy. Remember, in the realm of self-discipline lies the path to achieving our dreams and living in the life we truly love. 5. Developing emotional resilience. When life throws its curveballs, we all experience a whirlwind of emotions. Feeling angry, sad, or frustrated is a natural part of being human. But here's the kicker. It's not just about the emotions we feel. It's about how we handle them. That's where the magic of emotional resilience comes in. Emotional resilience is like this superpower that allows us to navigate through life's storms with grace and come out stronger on the other side. It's about acknowledging our emotions, understanding them, and then taking positive steps to move forward, rather than being swept away by the tide of our feelings. The Stoics had a lot to say about this. Marcus Aurelius, for example, reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This profound insight touches the essence of emotional resilience. It's about recognizing that while we might not have control over what happens to us, we have control over how we respond. Our emotions don't have to control our actions. Seneca offers wisdom on facing adversity without losing our composure. He teaches that life's hardships are tests of our character and resilience. By facing our feelings with understanding and patience, we can grow wiser and more robust. But how do we develop this emotional resilience? It starts with self-awareness. Being mindful of our emotions and reactions helps us understand ourselves better. It's okay to feel what we're feeling, but instead of reacting impulsively, we can choose to respond in a way that aligns with our values and long-term well-being. But how do we develop this emotional resilience? It starts with self-awareness. Being mindful of our emotions and reactions helps us understand ourselves better. It's okay to feel what we're feeling, but instead of reacting impulsively, we can choose to respond in a way that aligns with our values and long-term well-being. Aristotle spoke about the golden mean, finding the balance between excess and efficiency. This concept applies beautifully to emotional resilience. It's about finding a balanced response to our emotions, not suppressing them or letting them overpower us. Carl Jung, a pioneer in psychology, emphasized the importance of integrating all aspects of our psyche to achieve wholeness. Part of this process involves confronting our emotions, understanding them, and learning from them. This is at the heart of developing emotional resilience. So, what can you do when you're in the grip of strong emotions? First, give yourself permission to feel. Acknowledge your emotions without judgment. Then, take a step back and try to understand what triggered these feelings. This reflection can provide valuable insights into your emotional patterns and triggers. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is a powerful reminder that our reactions to our emotions can shape our experiences. Instead of being reactive, we can choose to respond in a way that is constructive and healing. Developing emotional resilience is a journey. It involves practicing mindfulness, self-reflection, and patience. It's about building a toolkit of coping strategies, like journaling, talking to a trusted friend, or practicing relaxation techniques. Most importantly, it's about treating yourself with kindness and compassion as you navigate through your emotions. Emotional resilience is not about never feeling negative emotions. It's about learning to ride the waves of those emotions with grace and coming out on the other side stronger and more self-aware. By developing emotional resilience, we empower ourselves to face life's challenges with courage and poise. Let's embrace this journey together, supporting each other and becoming more emotionally resilient, and ultimately living a more fulfilling life. 6. Memento mori. Remember, you will pass away. The Stoics used this concept not to create fear, but to inspire a deeper appreciation for every moment. They believed that by keeping the inevitability of death in mind, we would live more fully, consciously, and with gratitude for the present. Marcus Aurelius in his meditations often reflected on the transience of life, encouraging us to live in a way that's true to our values and to make the most of the time we're given. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think, he wrote. This isn't about being morose. It's a call to action, a reminder to focus on what truly matters, to let go of petty concerns, and to live with purpose and integrity. Seneca, too, spoke about the shortness of life, urging us not to waste time on trivialities, but to focus on creating a meaningful existence. He believed that being mindful of death encourages us to live more wisely and to cherish our relationships and experiences. Epictetus emphasized the importance of focusing on the present and making the best use of our time. By remembering that we won't live forever, we're more likely to live ethically and to appreciate the beauty and richness of life. How can we incorporate memento mori into our own lives without it feeling like a dark cloud over our heads? It starts with shifting our perspective. Instead of seeing the awareness of death as something fearful, we can view it as a powerful motivator to live our lives to the fullest. It's about embracing the present, not postponing our dreams or happiness for some undefined future that's not guaranteed. Think about the things you've been putting off. Maybe it's pursuing a passion, reconnecting with loved ones, or simply taking time to appreciate the small joys of everyday life. Memento mori reminds us not to take our time for granted. It encourages us to live more authentically, to say what we mean, to love openly, and to be present in our lives. This concept also teaches us to appreciate the impermanence of life, which in turn deepens our gratitude for the moments we have. When we remember that our time is limited, we're more likely to cherish our experiences, to live more mindfully, and to express our gratitude for the people and moments that enrich our lives. So, let's use memento mori, not as a source of fear, but as a catalyst for growth, gratitude, and a deeper appreciation of life. Let it remind us to make choices that align with our deepest values, to cherish our relationships, and to savor the beauty of the present moment. Remembering that we will die one day encourages us to live more fully today. In embracing memento mori, we find a powerful reminder to live, not in fear of death, but in celebration of life. Let's make every moment count, not because we're afraid of its end, but because we're in love with life itself. Let's live in a way that When our time does come, we can look back with no regrets, knowing we lived fully, loved deeply, and appreciated the incredible journey that life is. 7. Practicing gratitude. It's fascinating how such a simple concept can profoundly impact our lives. Gratitude is about shifting our focus to what we have, rather than dwelling on what we're missing. This practice can be a real game changer, especially on those days that feel like an uphill battle. The Stoics, wise as they were, had a lot to say about gratitude. They believed that happiness doesn't come from having more, but from appreciating what we already have. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of focusing on the present and finding joy in the simple things. He said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This is gratitude in its purest form, recognizing the value of life itself and the many gifts it offers us each day. Seneca talked about how our desires can lead us astray, always chasing after more and never finding true satisfaction. He suggested that by focusing on what we have and understanding that the best things in life are already within our grasp, we can find real contentment. Epictetus, known for his followers to appreciate their current circumstances, whatever they might be, he believed that by accepting and finding value in our present situation, we could live a more fulfilled life. But how do we practice gratitude, especially when life throws curveballs our way? It starts with making it a daily habit. Each morning or evening, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. It could be as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a conversation with a friend, or the beauty of a sunset. This practice helps rewire our brains to focus on the positive, boosting our mood and overall outlook on life. Gratitude also means embracing challenges and finding lessons within them. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective helps us appreciate our experiences, both good and bad, as valuable steps on our journey. Moreover, practicing gratitude helps us build stronger connections with others. By expressing appreciation for the people in our lives, we not only brighten their day, but also strengthen our own resilience. A simple thank you can go a long way in showing someone that they're valued and loved. Aristotle spoke about the importance of recognizing the good in our lives and striving for a virtuous life. He believed that gratitude was key to achieving eudaimonia, or true happiness, as it allows us to appreciate the goodness around us and within ourselves. Even modern psychology supports the benefits of gratitude. Studies show that people who practice gratitude regularly experience less anxiety, sleep better, and have a more positive outlook on life. As Carl Jung said, the word happiness would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. By acknowledging and being grateful for the full spectrum of our experiences, we find a deeper, more authentic form of happiness. So let's make gratitude a cornerstone of our daily lives. Let's celebrate the small victories, cherish the moments of connection, and find joy in the simple pleasures. By focusing on what we have, not on what we're missing, we can cultivate a sense of abundance and happiness that shines from within. Remember, it's not happiness that brings us gratitude. It's gratitude that brings us happiness. Let's fill our glasses half full, raise them high, and toast to the beauty of gratitude in our lives. Cheers to finding the silver lining, even on the cloudiest of days. 8. Focusing on personal excellence. The Stoics had a profound understanding of personal excellence. They believed that excellence, or virtue, is the sole good, and that everything we do should aim toward living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, is a prime example of someone who strived for personal excellence. He once said, Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This simple yet powerful statement encapsulates the essence of personal excellence. It's about embodying the values we admire and striving to live by them every day. Seneca emphasized the importance of self-improvement and continuous learning. He advocated for a life lived in accordance with nature and reason, suggesting that true excellence comes from within and is reflected in our actions and choices. Epictetus highlighted the role of personal responsibility in achieving excellence. He taught that our reactions, emotions, and will are within our control, and mastering them is key to living a life of virtue. But what does focusing on personal excellence look like in our day-to-day lives? It starts with setting personal standards based on our values and aspirations, not on societal expectations or the achievements of others. It's about knowing who we are, understanding our strengths and weaknesses, and taking consistent steps toward improvement. Personal excellence is also about resilience. It's about how we respond to setbacks and failures, not just our successes. As Aristotle said, excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. This means embracing challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than seeing them as obstacles. Moreover, focusing on personal excellence involves cultivating a growth mindset, a concept championed by modern psychology. It's the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. This mindset encourages us to embrace challenges, persist in the face of setbacks, and see effort as a path to mastery. Personal excellence also means living authentically. It's about being true to ourselves and our values, even when it's not easy. It's about making choices that reflect who we are and who we want to be, and taking pride in our journey, including both the struggles and the triumphs. Practicing gratitude, as we discussed earlier, ties into personal excellence too. By appreciating what we have and where we are on our journey, we foster a positive outlook that supports our growth and well-being. So let's commit to focusing on personal excellence. Let's set our own standards, embrace our unique paths, and take pride in our progress. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being proud of who we are and how we live. It's about celebrating our efforts, learning from our experiences, and always striving to be the best versions of ourselves. Together, let's make personal excellence not just a goal, but a way of life. 9. Not caring what others think. In a world saturated with social media, where likes, follows, and comments often dictate self-worth, it's easy to fall into the trap of valuing ourselves through the lens of others' opinions. But here's a liberating truth. Your worth isn't based on external validation. It's about being true to yourself, embracing your authenticity, and living in alignment with your values. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers we often turn to for timeless wisdom, had much to say about this. They taught that our inner peace and freedom come from focusing on what's within our control, our actions, our thoughts, and our integrity, not the ever-changing opinions of others. Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinions of others." This striking observation highlights a paradox many of us live with, valuing others' judgments over our own self-assessment. Seneca echoed this sentiment by emphasizing the importance of living a life true to oneself, not one shaped by the expectations or approval of others. He believed that true contentment comes from within, from living a life that aligns with our principles and values. Epictetus taught that worrying about others' opinions is outside our control and therefore not worth our energy. He encouraged focusing instead on our own actions and on living virtuously, as that's where our true power lies. So, how can we start caring less about what others think and more about being true to ourselves? First, understand that you are the author of your life story. You have the power to define your worth, not society, not your social media followers, nor the people around you. Ground your self-esteem in who you are, the values you stand for, the kindness you spread, and the effort you put into being your best self. Second, practice self-reflection. Ask yourself, whose life am I living? Am I making choices based on my desires, or am I trying to fit into someone else's mold? Reflecting on these questions can help realign your actions with your true self. Third, embrace vulnerability. Being true to yourself means being open about your flaws and all, understanding that we are reflections of our progress, making mistakes and learning from them. This authenticity attracts the right people into your life, those who appreciate the real you. Moreover, remember the words of Aristotle, who spoke about the golden mean, finding balance in life. Applying this to our concern for others' opinions means finding a healthy balance between considering constructive feedback and maintaining our autonomy and self-worth. Incorporating a Stoic mindset into our lives means understanding that our worth is determined by our virtues, our actions, and our commitment to living a meaningful life, not by external accolades or approval. It's about building a strong inner fortress that remains unshaken by the fleeting opinions of others. Let's commit to valuing ourselves for who we truly are, not for the likes, follows, or approval we receive. Let's be courageous in our authenticity, living lives that resonate with our deepest truths. Remember, your worth is inherent and unique. By being true to yourself, you shine your light in the most genuine way possible. Let's not just navigate life, but thrive in it, with the confidence that comes from knowing we are living authentically, aligned with our values, and true to ourselves. 10. Accepting change. Here's the thing, accepting change is not just necessary, it's vital for our growth and happiness. The reality is, the only constant in life is change. Learning to go with the flow and embrace life's inevitable shifts makes navigating them less scary and more of an adventure. The Stoics had an incredibly healthy perspective on change. They saw it as a natural part of the universe's rhythm. Marcus Aurelius said, "Accept whatever comes to you, woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" This profound acceptance of change as part of life's fabric helps us understand that each change, whether we perceive it as good or bad, has its place in our story. Seneca taught that becoming too attached to our current circumstances can lead to disappointment because inevitably those circumstances will change. He advised us to be flexible and to understand that change is not just a part of life, but a necessary component of our personal development and happiness. Epictetus encouraged us to distinguish between what we can control and what we can't. While we can't control our attitudes towards them, this mindset is incredibly empowering when it comes to dealing with change. It's about focusing on our responses, finding opportunities for growth within the change, and moving forward with resilience. But how can we become more accepting of change? First, by acknowledging that change is inevitable. It's the natural order of things. Everything around us is in a constant state of flux. Seasons change, people come and go, and our very selves are renewing themselves as we speak. Embracing change means embracing life itself. Second, by practicing mindfulness. Being present in the moment allows us to appreciate our current experiences without clinging to them. This awareness creates space for acceptance when those experiences inevitably evolve or come to an end. Third, by seeking the lessons in change. Every shift in our lives, no matter how challenging, comes with opportunities to learn and grow. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective can turn the challenges of change into stepping stones for personal development. Aristotle spoke about the importance of pursuing a virtuous life as the key to happiness. A part of virtue is adaptability, the ability to navigate life's changes with grace and wisdom. It's about finding balance and harmony within the flux of life. Modern psychology supports this Stoic approach to change. Viewing change as an opportunity rather than a threat can significantly reduce stress and anxiety levels. It enhances our resilience, making us better equipped to handle whatever life throws our way. Let's remind ourselves that change is not just something to endure, but to welcome as a natural, enriching part of our journey. By accepting change, we open ourselves to new experiences, growth, and the beautiful unfolding of our unique paths in life. Remember, going with the flow isn't about passivity. It's about actively engaging with life in its full dynamic complexity. Let's navigate the currents of change with courage, grace, and a heart open to the endless possibilities that change brings. 11. Practicing compassion and empathy. Despite our differences, we are all in this together, navigating the complex journey of life. By fostering an understanding and caring attitude toward others, we contribute to making the world a kinder, more loving place. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers who continue to enlighten us with their timeless wisdom, placed great importance on the virtues of compassion and empathy. They believed in the interconnectedness of all humans and taught that kindness and understanding toward others are essential aspects of living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, reminded us that human beings are social creatures by nature, meant to live in harmony and cooperation with one another. He said, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings none to the bee." This beautifully illustrates the idea that our well-being is intrinsically linked to the well-being of others. Seneca emphasized the importance of treating others with kindness and generosity. He argued that compassion is a natural human instinct, and that by helping others, we also help ourselves. In his writings, Seneca encourages us to extend our empathy, even to those who have wronged us, understanding that they too are acting out of their own struggles and limitations. Epictetus taught that we should strive to understand others' perspectives, recognizing that everyone has their reasons for their actions. This doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but rather approaching others with a mindset of empathy, seeking to understand their experiences and viewpoints. But how can we practice compassion and empathy in our daily lives? It starts with listening, truly listening, to the stories, experiences, and feelings of those around us. It's about putting ourselves in their shoes, imagining their struggles, their joys, their fears, and their hopes. This act of understanding can bridge the gap between us, fostering a sense of connection and shared humanity. Another way to cultivate compassion and empathy is through acts of kindness, no matter how small. A smile, a kind word, a listening ear, these can all make a significant difference in someone's day. By being present and attentive to others, we signal that they matter, that their feelings and experiences are valid and important. Practicing compassion and empathy also means being there for others in times of need, offering support and understanding without judgment. It's about recognizing the value and dignity of every person, regardless of our differences. The ancient philosopher Aristotle spoke about the importance of friendship and the role of empathy in building strong, meaningful relationships. He believed that true friends not only share in each other's joys, but also in their sorrows, supporting each other with empathy and understanding. Modern psychology supports the Stoic emphasis on compassion and empathy, showing that these virtues not only enhance our relationships, but also our own emotional well-being. By caring for others, we foster a sense of belonging, purpose, and happiness in our own lives. Let's remind ourselves that behind every face is a story. Behind every action is a reason. By understanding and caring for each other, we make the world a kinder, gentler place. In doing so, we not only enrich the lives of those around us, but also find deeper fulfillment and joy in our own lives. Together, let's spread kindness like confetti, creating ripples of compassion that transform the world, one act of empathy at a time. 12. Reflecting and reviewing regularly. This is about taking a pause, a real, meaningful pause, to look back on our actions, our thoughts, and the paths we've tread. It's about growth, introspection, and aligning our lives with our deepest values. In a world that's always rushing forward, this practice is our anchor, ensuring we're not just being swept away, but are sailing in the direction that's true to us. The Stoics, with their profound insights into human nature, placed immense value on the practice of reflection. Marcus Aurelius, in his personal writings, which we now treasure as meditations, offered a model of this practice. He didn't just rule an empire, he took the time to examine his life, his decisions, and his moral compass through writing. He saw this reflection as essential to living a life of virtue and purpose. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, he wrote, reminding us that our internal dialogue shapes our external reality. Seneca recommended regular self-assessment as a way to foster self-improvement and wisdom. He likened life to a play, suggesting that we periodically review our roles and performances. Are we acting in harmony with the character we wish to embody? Are our actions reflective of the script we value? The script of our lives? Epictetus encouraged his students to end each day with a review of their actions and attitudes. This wasn't about self-criticism, but about self-awareness and growth. He urged us to ask ourselves, what did I do well? What did I do wrong? What duties were left undone? Through such questions, we can steer our lives more consciously, making adjustments that bring us closer to our ideals. But how do we incorporate this practice of reflection and review into our modern lives? First, by making it a habit. Dedicate a few minutes each day, perhaps before bedtime, to reflect on your day. What were your victories? Where did you face challenges, and how did you respond? This practice can start as a mental exercise, but writing it down can enhance its benefits, giving you a tangible record of your journey. Second, use reflection as a tool for gratitude. In reviewing your day, also take note of the moments, no matter how small, that brought you joy or gratitude. This balances our natural tendency to focus on the negative, cultivating a more positive outlook on life. Third, approach this practice with kindness and compassion toward yourself. Reflection is not about berating yourself for mistakes, but about recognizing them as opportunities for learning and growth. Be as understanding and supportive to yourself as you would be to a dear friend. Aristotle spoke about the importance of living a reflective life. He believed that true wisdom comes from understanding ourselves, our actions, and our place in the world. This reflection is the essence of living an examined life, one that's in accordance with virtue and excellence. In modern psychology, the benefits of regular reflection are well documented, showing improvements in mental health, clarity of purpose, and personal growth. Reflecting on our experiences helps us process emotions, learn from our actions, and make more informed decisions moving forward. Let's commit to this practice of reflecting and reviewing regularly. Let it be our guidepost, ensuring that we are not just passively experiencing life, but actively shaping it according to our values. By taking the time to look back, We gain the insight needed to move forward more aligned, more aware, and more in tune with the essence of who we are and who we aspire to be. Imagine living in a world where your happiness isn't tethered to the affection you receive from others, where the longing glances, the missed calls, and the thinking of you messages don't define your emotional state. This is not a tale from ancient history, but a reality that you can live in today. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has survived the test of time, teaches us exactly that. It empowers us to find inner peace and happiness regardless of our external circumstances. But how does this relate to wanting someone to miss you? Well, in the realm of love and relationships, we often find ourselves craving the attention and affection of others, believing that this external validation is the key to our happiness. Yet Stoicism introduces a counterintuitive approach by focusing on self-improvement, fostering emotional independence, and appreciating the present moment without attachment. We inadvertently become more attractive, and ironically, more likely to be missed. In today's video, we dive deep into the Stoic way of living and loving. How, by embracing the principles of Stoicism, we can not only enrich our lives, but also transform our relationships in the most unexpected ways. Stay with me as we explore how to make them miss you, not by playing games or strategizing your every move, but by becoming a beacon of self-sufficiency and contentment. And as always, your support means the world to us. A simple yet impactful way you can help is by hitting that subscribe button. It's a small gesture that goes a long way. Please stay with us throughout the entire video, as every part has been carefully crafted to guide you toward a more fulfilling and stoic way of living. In our quest for happiness and fulfillment, it's incredibly easy to fall into the trap of seeking external validation. We often measure our worth by the reactions, opinions, and attention we receive from others, especially in the realm of personal relationships. But what if I told you there's a more empowering, enduring path to happiness? The Stoic path teaches us to focus on what's within our control, our thoughts, actions, and reactions, while accepting what we cannot control, which includes the feelings and behaviors of others. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent or emotionless. Rather, it's about recognizing that true contentment and self-worth come from within, not from someone else's approval or attention. Think about it. When we hinge our happiness on being missed or desired by someone, we give away our power. We become reactive to their actions or lack thereof, which can lead to a roller coaster of emotions. Stoicism, however, offers us the tools to step off this ride. By cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation, we build a strong, resilient character that finds joy in self-growth and personal achievements. This doesn't mean we should isolate ourselves or stop caring about others. Stoicism doesn't advocate for emotional detachment, but for emotional resilience. It encourages us to form healthy, meaningful relationships based on mutual respect and understanding, not on neediness or dependency. Moreover, by prioritizing self-improvement, we naturally become more intriguing and attractive to others. People are drawn to individuals who are confident, passionate about their pursuits, and content with themselves. So, ironically, the less we focus on making someone miss us, the more likely it is to happen, because we're living our best, most authentic lives. So, let's start shifting our focus from seeking validation to nurturing our inner world. Let's invest time in learning new skills, exploring new hobbies, and deepening our understanding of who we are and what we stand for. This journey of self-improvement is not only fulfilling in itself, but also makes us more admirable, and yes, missable, in the eyes of others. Remember, the goal of Stoicism is not to suppress our desires or deny our need for connection, but to remind us that our happiness and worth are not dependent on them. By anchoring ourselves in the principles of Stoicism, we can enjoy a life of peace, satisfaction, and true independence. So let's embrace the Stoic way, focusing on self-improvement and finding joy within ourselves, because that is where true happiness lies. At the heart of Stoicism is the understanding that our reactions to external events are within our control, even if the events themselves are not. This principle is incredibly empowering. It means that we hold the key to our emotional state, granting us a level of independence that's liberating. Emotional resilience, according to Stoicism, isn't about numbing ourselves to feelings or detaching from the world around us. Instead, it's about acknowledging our emotions, understanding them, and deciding not to let them dictate our actions. The Stoics believed in focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we can't. This isn't just a strategy for personal peace. It's a roadmap to emotional resilience. When we stop allowing external factors like the actions of others or societal pressures to influence our well-being, we cultivate a sense of independence that's both profound and practical. This independence doesn't mean isolation. On the contrary, it enables us to engage with the world from a place of strength and self-assurance. Consider the concept of emotional resilience in the context of relationships. Stoicism teaches us that while we can love and care for others, our happiness shouldn't hinge on their presence or approval. This perspective encourages us to build relationships on the foundation of mutual respect and genuine connection, rather than dependency or fear of loneliness. By fostering emotional resilience, we become capable of enjoying deep, meaningful relationships without losing ourselves in them. Furthermore, Stoicism's emphasis on living according to nature, accepting life's ebb and flow, reinforces our emotional resilience. It reminds us that change is the only constant, and that our ability to adapt to this change is a measure of our strength. This adaptability doesn't come from a place of passivity, but from active engagement with our values, goals, and the pursuit of virtue. So, how do we cultivate this independence and emotional resilience? It starts with self-awareness, regularly reflecting on our thoughts, emotions, and responses to life's challenges. It involves practicing gratitude, focusing on the present moment, and engaging in activities that align with our core values. And crucially, it requires us to challenge our perceptions, asking ourselves whether our emotional responses are based on current realities or outdated beliefs. In embracing Stoicism, we learn to navigate life's storms, not by seeking shelter in others, but by becoming our own lighthouse. This journey towards independence and emotional resilience is not a solitary one. It's enriched by the wisdom of those who walked this path before us. As we incorporate Stoic principles into our lives, we find that our capacity for joy, our strength in adversity, and our ability to maintain balanced relationships all grow exponentially. The Stoic philosophers like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus often spoke about the importance of living a life aligned with one's own nature and the nature of the universe. This, at its core, is about recognizing what truly matters in life and dedicating ourselves to it. For the Stoics, meaning is found not in external successes or the accumulation of wealth and accolades, but in the cultivation of virtue, wisdom, and integrity. It's about contributing to the common good, engaging in community, and developing relationships based on respect and understanding. Creating a meaningful life, then, involves a deep dive into our inner selves, asking hard questions about who we are and what we stand for. It requires us to identify our values and to live by them, even when faced with challenges, or when it would be easier to simply go with the flow of societal expectations. Stoicism offers a compass in this introspection, urging us to consider not just our actions, but the intentions behind them. Are we acting out of virtue, or are we motivated by a desire for external validation? Moreover, Stoicism teaches us about the impermanence of external conditions and the importance of focusing on what remains within our control. This perspective is liberating. It frees us from the tyranny of trying to control the uncontrollable and directs our energies toward where we can truly make a difference, our own attitudes, choices, and responses to the world around us. In this way, creating a meaningful life is less about what we achieve and more about how we live and the mindset with which we approach our days. Embracing a Stoic approach to life also means accepting that suffering and setbacks are natural parts of the human experience. Instead of perceiving them as obstacles to our happiness, we can view them as opportunities for growth, resilience, and a deeper understanding of the complexities of life. This doesn't mean we seek out suffering, but rather that we find meaning in overcoming it, learning from it, and moving forward with a strengthened spirit and a more compassionate heart. In practice, creating a meaningful life involves small daily acts as much as it does grand gestures. It's found in the kindness we show to others, the integrity with which we conduct our work, and the passion we bring to our pursuits. It's in the moments we take to reflect on our place in the universe, to appreciate nature, to engage in acts of self-care, and to foster connections with others. These acts, grounded in Stoic principles, weave together to form a tapestry of a life well lived. Let's remember, the Stoic journey towards a meaningful life is not a solitary endeavor. It's a path we walk together, supporting each other through shared wisdom and experiences. By anchoring our lives in Stoicism, we equip ourselves with the tools not just to face life's challenges, but to thrive amidst them, finding joy, purpose, and meaning in every step of the journey. The Stoics recognized early on that much of our frustration, anxiety, and even despair stems from our insistence on controlling the uncontrollable. We often expend tremendous energy trying to shape circumstances, outcomes, and even other people to our will, only to find that much of it is beyond our reach. This realization isn't meant to dishearten us. Instead, it's intended to free us from self-imposed chains that bind us to unattainable expectations. Embracing Stoicism's guidance on relinquishing the desire for control doesn't mean we become passive observers of our own lives. Rather, it's about focusing our efforts on the arena where we can indeed make a difference, our internal world. It's in the realm of our perceptions, decisions, and reactions that we hold genuine sway. Here we can cultivate virtues like patience, understanding, and resilience. Here we can find peace. Letting go of control, according to Stoic philosophy, involves a deep acceptance of the natural flow of events. It's about understanding the difference between our efforts and their outcomes, recognizing that while we can strive to influence the former, the latter often falls outside our direct influence. This doesn't negate the value of effort. It merely places it in a healthier perspective. When we align our actions with our values and detach from specific outcomes, we engage with life more wholly and authentically. Moreover, this Stoic teaching encourages us to view each moment as an opportunity to practice acceptance and grow in wisdom. It invites us to question our deep-seated beliefs about control, success, and security. In doing so, we often discover that our true strength lies not in exerting control over the external world, but in mastering our inner landscape. In practical terms, letting go of the desire for control means embracing flexibility and adaptability. It means being open to the unexpected, finding the courage to face uncertainties with a calm mind and an open heart. It's about learning to respond to life's challenges with grace, viewing them as opportunities for personal growth and self-discovery. As we incorporate this Stoic principle into our lives, we find that our relationships deepen, our stress levels decrease, and our appreciation for the present moment increases. We begin to understand that control is not the key to happiness. Balance, acceptance, and inner harmony are. Letting go of our desire for control, as taught by Stoicism, is not about relinquishing our power, but rather about reclaiming it in its most potent form. It's a journey toward inner freedom, marked by a profound transformation in how we perceive and interact with the world. In this era of constant noise, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Every moment is bombarded with sounds and visuals, phones buzzing, screens flashing, the world demanding our attention. This relentless stimulation can make us feel like we're losing ourselves in a sea of endless chatter and digital noise. But what if I told you that the secret to gaining back control lies not in doing more, but in embracing less? The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, mastered this art thousands of years ago. They taught us that real strength doesn't come from reacting to every stimulus, but from choosing what to focus on and when to remain silent. You have power over your mind, not outside events, Marcus Aurelius wrote, reminding us that serenity begins with internal quiet. Today, we're diving deep into why cutting back on mental clutter and unnecessary talk can transform your life. We'll explore 7 powerful benefits of thinking less, speaking less, and focusing more. These are not just life hacks, but profound changes that can lead to greater tranquility, deeper wisdom, and lasting success. And remember, if you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple free favor I'll ask is for you to hit that subscribe button. Don't skip any part of this video. Stick with me, and let's uncover how embracing the Stoic way can help you reclaim your peace of mind and power over your life. Benefit 1. Reduce stress and anxiety. Ever felt like your brain is just a whirlwind of worries and what-ifs? It's exhausting, right? But here's a thought from the Stoic playbook. Maybe the key to less stress isn't more thinking, it's less. The Stoics, like Epictetus, taught us that it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our interpretation of these events. By focusing less on the noise and more on what we can control, we start to experience a real shift in our stress levels. When we actively decide to cut down on our mental clutter, something amazing happens. Our mind gets a break. Think about it. If your mind was a browser with dozens of tabs open, each one representing a worry or a thought, wouldn't closing some of them help it run better? That's essentially what we're doing when we choose to think less about things we can't control. We're closing the tabs. We're choosing not to engage with every fleeting thought that comes our way. And speaking of thinking less, it's about quality over. It's not about suppressing thoughts, but guiding them. It's like gardening. You keep the plants you want and pull out the weeds. If a thought doesn't serve you or is out of your control, why let it take up space? When we simplify our thought processes and focus only on actionable and positive thoughts, the weight on our shoulders lightens. This approach is rooted deeply in Stoicism, which emphasizes resilience and emotional control through rational thinking. By practicing these principles, you can train your mind to remain calm and collected in situations where you'd normally feel stressed or anxious. It's about responding to life's challenges with a level head and a clear mind, not with panic or despair. This doesn't just reduce stress, it transforms how we perceive challenges, turning them from insurmountable mountains into manageable hurdles. Benefit 2. Increase calmness and serenity. It's fascinating when you think about it. The moments when we're truly at peace are often the ones that are the quietest. This is something the Stoics understood deeply. They championed the idea that serenity comes from within, not from the chaos of the outside world. When we choose to engage less with the turmoil around us and focus more on our inner calm, the world doesn't seem as loud or as frantic. Calmness and serenity aren't just pleasant states of mind, they're powerful tools. By speaking less and listening more, we create space for peace to grow. It's like when you're on a bustling city street and suddenly step into a quiet library. Suddenly the world shifts, the pace changes, your breath deepens. This is the effect of embracing silence in our daily lives. When we stop feeling the need to fill every silence with words, we start to appreciate the richness of quiet. Stoicism teaches us that by controlling our reactions, we can maintain an inner calm regardless of external circumstances. Imagine being in a stressful situation. Say, a work deadline looms and the pressure mounts. Instead of getting caught up in a frenzy of stress and last-minute hustle, you take a step back. You breathe. You prioritize your tasks. You focus on one thing at a time. This is the Stoic method in action. Clearing the mind, simplifying the task, and approaching it with a calm focus. The benefits of this approach are immense. Not only does it allow us to handle stress more effectively, but it also enhances our overall well-being. When we're calm, we're better thinkers, listeners, and problem solvers. We're more present in our relationships, and we're better able to enjoy life's pleasures. Being serene doesn't mean being passive. It means being actively engaged in the pursuit of peace. By incorporating Stoic practices into our routine, such as meditation, reflection, and mindful breathing, we cultivate a tranquil mind. These practices help us filter out the noise and focus on what truly matters. They teach us to respond, not react. The more we practice, the more natural it becomes to remain undisturbed by the chaos of everyday life, and the deeper our well of serenity grows. On the matter of well of serenity, this doesn't just benefit us individually, it radiates outward, influencing our environment and the people around us in positive ways. Benefit 3. Enhance focus and productivity. Have you ever noticed how much more you get done when you're truly dialed into what you're doing? That sharp, crystal-clear focus that makes you feel like you can accomplish anything is not just a random occurrence. It's a state of mind that you can cultivate deliberately, especially if you take a leaf out of the Stoic playbook. The Stoics were big on focusing only on what's essential, cutting through the noise to concentrate on what truly matters. In our hyper-connected world, distractions are not just common, they're built into our everyday life. Phones ping, emails arrive incessantly, and social media feeds update constantly. But imagine if you could turn down that noise. Imagine organizing your day so that you could focus fully on each task before moving on to the next. This is the essence of Stoic focus, giving your whole attention to one thing at a time and doing it excellently. This kind of focus naturally leads to increased productivity. When you're not splitting your attention across multiple tasks, you're not just working harder, you're working smarter. You begin to notice details you might miss when multitasking. You solve problems more efficiently and come up with better solutions because your mind isn't flitting from one thing to another. The Stoics teach us that by eliminating unnecessary thoughts and actions, we free up our mental resources for important tasks. This doesn't mean ignoring your responsibilities, but rather prioritizing them in a way that allows you to deal with them one at a time, giving each your full energy. For instance, when tackling a project, you might break it down into manageable parts and set clear goals for each session. This methodical approach reduces overwhelm and makes large tasks feel more doable. Furthermore, practicing Stoicism helps us develop the resilience to resist distractions. By fostering inner discipline, we train ourselves to stay on task even when temptations arise. We become more aware of our impulses, to check our phone, to browse the web, and we learn to pause, recognize the distraction for what it is, and return to our task with renewed focus. Benefit 4. Boost self-control. Self-control is one of those superpowers that seems almost mythical, isn't it? It's like every time we manage to say no to that extra slice of cake, or yes to an early morning workout, we're tapping into something extraordinary. But what if I told you that self-control isn't just about resisting temptation? It's about much more. According to Stoic philosophy, it's about governing our reactions to the world around us in a way that aligns with our deepest values. Now, the Stoics were masters of self-discipline. They believed that the path to happiness was paved with virtue, and that self-control was a critical part of that. For them, it wasn't about denying themselves the joys of life, but choosing not to be dominated by passions that could lead to irrational decisions and ultimately unhappiness. This is why they practiced moderation in all things, from their emotions to their actions. In today's context, boosting self-control can mean the difference between getting swayed by every little distraction that comes your way or staying steadfast on your path to personal and professional fulfillment. Think about how often we're pulled away from important tasks by less important but immediately gratifying distractions. Every time you choose to focus on your work instead of checking your phone, you're exercising self-control. This kind of discipline directly impacts our productivity and our ability to achieve our goals. When you strengthen your self-control, you're not just improving your ability to work without interruption, you're also enhancing your ability to think critically and make decisions that are not influenced by fleeting emotions. This is essential because emotions can be powerful drivers of action, but when left unchecked, they can lead us astray. Stoicism offers practical steps for boosting self-control. For example, practicing mindfulness can help us become more aware of our impulses, allowing us to respond rather than react by taking a moment to pause. When an impulse strikes, we give ourselves the space to choose a response that aligns with our goals and values. This might look like taking a few deep breaths when feeling overwhelmed, or stepping back to assess whether our next action will help or hinder our progress. Enhancing self-control is about cultivating a deeper sense of peace and satisfaction. As we become more adept at controlling our impulses and managing our responses, we find that we're not only more productive but also more content. We're less at the mercy of the ups and downs of our emotions, and more in tune with a stable, balanced way of living. Benefit 5. Communicate more effectively. Communication is like the glue that holds our social fabric together, isn't it? Whether it's chatting with a friend, discussing a project at work, or even negotiating a deal, how we express ourselves plays a pivotal role in the outcome. Now, Stoicism might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think about communication skills, but it's incredibly relevant. The Stoics were big on the idea that it's not just what you say, but how you say it that matters. They believed in the power of being measured and thoughtful with words, which is essential for clear and impactful communication. So, how does embracing a Stoic approach help us communicate more effectively? First off, it teaches us the value of listening. Seneca, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers, famously said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen twice as much as we speak." This is golden advice in any conversation. Active listening helps us to really understand the other person's perspective, not just to wait for our turn to speak. It shows respect and allows for more constructive dialogues. When you truly listen, you respond more thoughtfully, which naturally enhances the quality of your interaction. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to focus on clarity and brevity in our speech. The Stoics were not fans of rambling or speaking without purpose. They prized the ability to speak concisely and clearly, cutting through the noise and delivering messages in a way that could be easily understood. This doesn't mean being blunt or curt. Rather, it's about being considerate of the listener's time and attention. By choosing our words carefully and ensuring they truly convey what we mean, we reduce misunderstandings and make our communication more effective. There's also the Stoic belief in staying calm under pressure, which is a superpower in difficult conversations. Imagine you're in a heated discussion. The Stoic approach would be to maintain your composure and not let emotions get the best of you. This isn't about suppressing feelings, but about managing them constructively. By staying calm, you keep the conversation productive and open the door to resolutions rather than conflicts. It's about responding with reason rather than reacting with emotion. Incorporating these Stoic principles into your daily communication doesn't just improve how you talk or listen. It transforms your interactions into more meaningful and fulfilling exchanges. Whether it's at home, with friends, or in the workplace, effective communication fosters better relationships, smoother cooperation, and a deeper understanding of others. It's about making every word count and every interaction matter. Benefit 6. Build respect from others. Respect is one of those invaluable currencies in life that can't be bought but must be earned, often through the subtle art of how we carry ourselves and interact with others. Interestingly, Stoicism offers a powerful toolkit for earning this respect naturally. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius believed that respect comes from personal integrity and the ability to maintain composure, particularly in trying circumstances. Their teachings suggest that by cultivating a calm demeanor and thoughtful behavior, we naturally command respect from those around us. Imagine walking into a room where tensions are high, people are anxious, perhaps voices are raised. Now, picture yourself responding not with agitation, but with a composed and calm demeanor. This kind of response doesn't just diffuse tension, it also draws people's attention. It makes them think, there's someone who's in control. When you react with poise rather than panic, you demonstrate leadership qualities that naturally make people respect and trust your judgment. Moreover, Stoicism teaches the importance of consistency in our actions and words. Consistency is key to building trust, and trust is foundational to respect. When people know what to expect from you and see that you act according to your principles regardless of the situation, they begin to hold you in higher regard. It's about showing, not just telling. If you consistently apply Stoic principles such as fairness, patience, and self-control, people are more likely to respect you because they see these virtues in action. Then there's the aspect of speaking wisely. Stoics placed great emphasis on thinking before speaking, ensuring that when words are used they are meaningful and considered. In a world where everyone seems to be shouting to be heard, choosing your words carefully can actually make you stand out. When you do speak, if your words consistently reflect wisdom and insight, people are more inclined to listen and value your input. This approach not only builds respect, but also establishes you as a thoughtful leader or colleague. Lastly, respect through Stoicism is also about showing respect to others. It's a reciprocal dynamic. By demonstrating respect for others' ideas, feelings, and contributions, you foster a respectful environment. This mutual respect not only enhances personal relationships, but also creates a more positive and productive community, be it in a professional setting or personal life. Benefit 7. Live a more meaningful and simpler life. Isn't it curious how sometimes when you strip away the excess, what you're left with feels so much richer? Stoicism teaches us this very principle, that a simpler life isn't about having less, but about making room for more of what truly enriches us. It's about decluttering not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally. This philosophy encourages us to focus on our core values and priorities, trimming away the distractions that don't serve us. The Stoics, like Epictetus, believed that freedom comes from within, from our ability to control our responses to the world around us, rather than being controlled by it. By reducing our desires to the essentials and focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, our responses, we can lead lives of greater significance and tranquility. Imagine living each day with a clear sense of purpose, where your energies are spent on actions that are directly aligned with your deep-seated values. This isn't just liberating, it's deeply satisfying. In practical terms, adopting a simpler, more meaningful lifestyle means making conscious choices about where to allocate your time and energy. It involves asking yourself whether each activity or commitment is bringing you closer to your ideal life, or if it's merely filling time. This could mean opting to spend more time with family instead of attending yet another networking event, or choosing to read a book that enlightens you instead of mindlessly scrolling through social media. Moreover, living simply helps us cultivate gratitude for what we have. Stoicism doesn't teach us to forsake joy or pleasure. Rather, it teaches us to find joy in the pleasure that simplicity brings. There is profound joy in appreciating the ordinary moments, a quiet morning with a cup of coffee, the laughter of a loved one, the peace of a walk in nature. When we stop chasing after more things, more achievements, more engagements, we start experiencing more of life's genuine moments. This simplicity also extends to our interactions and how we handle challenges. Stoicism equips us to face life's complexities with a calm and steady hand. By simplifying our internal world, we are better able to manage the external chaos. Challenges become less daunting because our perspective has shifted. We focus on what is within our power to change, and we let go of the rest. Remember, the journey to embracing less isn't about achieving perfection overnight. It's a gradual process of adjustment and understanding, a path that you pave as you learn what less means to you. It's about finding your own balance between action and contemplation, speaking and silence, abundance and simplicity. Each step on this path can lead to profound changes in how you view and interact with the world. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. In a world that constantly tries to dictate how we should feel, think, and act, imagine possessing the power to find inner peace and happiness, regardless of the circumstances swirling around you. That's not just powerful, it's revolutionary. It's about taking control, not of the world, but of something far more important and absolutely within our reach, our own minds. Stoicism teaches us resilience, gratitude, and the art of living a fulfilled life. But this isn't just a history lesson. It's about you, your life today. It's about facing the chaos of our modern world without losing your cool. It's about finding calm in the storm and happiness in the simplest of things. It's about transforming your mornings from something you dread into a powerful launchpad for a day filled with purpose and joy. So, if you've ever felt overwhelmed by the noise of life, if you've ever struggled to find a moment's peace, or if you're just curious about how ancient wisdom can be your secret weapon in the 21st century, stick around. This might just be the video that changes everything for you. Let's dive into the Stoic strategies that can help us craft not just a morning routine, but a life filled with intention, resilience, and true happiness. I implore you to give your full attention to this video from start to finish. If you've made it here, you're not like everyone else. You're a standout, someone who seeks depth and wisdom. Your dedication to absorbing this content in full sets you apart even further. This might sound like a fancy term, but it's actually a beautifully simple concept that comes from Japan. It's about discovering that sweet spot where your passions, skills, societal needs, and what you can be paid for all intersect. It's your unique reason for being. Imagine waking up each morning fueled by a clear purpose that excites you, something that makes the thought of hitting snooze irrelevant. Marcus Aurelius wasn't just about enduring life's hardships with a stiff upper lip. He was deeply invested in the idea that we're all here to play our part, to contribute something meaningful. He urged us to approach each day as an opportunity to fulfill our role with integrity and passion. Now, think about that in the context of Ikigai. It's not just about finding what you love. It's about aligning it with what the world needs and what you're good at. That's where the magic happens. But how do you start uncovering your Ikigai? It begins with some introspection. Ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What am I good at? What does the world need from me? What can I get paid for? It's okay if the answers don't come to you right away. This is about the journey, exploring different facets of your life and interests and seeing where they converge. This quest for your Ikigai isn't just some fluffy, feel-good exercise. It's about setting the foundation for a life that's rich in meaning and satisfaction. When you align your daily actions with your deeper purpose, even mundane tasks gain significance. Your relationships start to flourish because you're more present and engaged. Your creativity soars because you're aligned with your true passions. And overall happiness? Well, it becomes more of a constant companion than a fleeting visitor. So, as you think about setting your alarm for tomorrow morning, consider what Ikigai means for you. What could be so compelling that you'd leap out of bed, eager to start the day? Remember, this isn't about overnight transformation. It's a process, a gentle unfolding. And as Marcus Aurelius would remind us, it's about doing the work, day by day, with dedication and honor. Finding your Ikigai isn't just about personal fulfillment. It's about embracing your role in the larger tapestry of life, contributing your unique thread to the ever-evolving human story. The ancient Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, were big on the idea that our actions should be purposeful, not just random acts thrown into the wind, but deliberate steps guided by our inner compass. This philosophy extends beautifully into how we prepare for the day ahead, starting the night before. Here's the deal. The quality of your morning begins with how you spend your evening. It's tempting to binge-watch your favorite series until the wee hours or scroll through social media until your eyes blur. But let's pause and consider how that sets you up for the next day. Your brain needs time to unwind, to process the day's events, and to recharge for what's ahead. That's where a solid pre-sleep routine comes into play. Imagine treating your evening routine with the same respect and intention as you would any other important aspect of your life. This isn't about rigid self-discipline that sucks the joy out of your evenings. It's about creating a space that supports your well-being and aligns with your goals for the next day. For instance, limiting screen time an hour before bed isn't about denying yourself relaxation. It's about giving your mind the cue that it's time to wind down, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up feeling refreshed. Planning a bit for the next day can also be a game changer. It could be as simple as jotting down your top 3 priorities for tomorrow. This act alone sets a clear direction, ensuring you wake up with a sense of purpose. And here's where the Stoic mindset really shines. It's about acknowledging what's within our control and letting go of what's not. We might not be able to control every detail of our day, but we can certainly influence how we start it. And let's not forget about some deep breathing or meditation to calm the mind. This practice isn't just fluff. It's a powerful tool that signals to your body that it's time to rest. Inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly helps reduce stress, lower your heart rate, and prepare your body for deep, restorative sleep. It's like pressing the reset button, ensuring you wake up not just physically refreshed, but mentally and emotionally as well. In today's always-on world, this might sound like a Herculean task, but it's absolutely vital for setting the tone of your entire day. Picture this. The first moments of your morning, untainted by the digital clamor of emails, social media notifications, or the buzzing news cycle. It's just you, your thoughts, and the serene quiet of the dawn. That's not just refreshing, it's empowering. Marcus Aurelius was a strong advocate for living with intention and focus. He wasn't distracted by the notifications of ancient Rome, and believe me, he had his share of distractions. Instead, he emphasized the importance of concentrating on the present moment and the task at hand. He knew something that's even more relevant today. The quality of your attention determines the quality of your life. So, how do we apply this ancient wisdom in the modern age? First, it's about creating a morning space that's intentionally free from digital distractions. This isn't about shunning technology, but rather choosing not to let it dictate the start of your day. It's tempting to roll over and immediately check your phone, but that instantly puts you in a reactive state, responding to the demands and dramas of the external world. Instead, give yourself the gift of a peaceful start. Imagine dedicating the first hour of your day to activities that nourish your soul and sharpen your mind. Maybe it's reading, meditating, journaling, or simply enjoying a cup of coffee as you gaze out the window. This isn't wasted time. It's an investment in your well-being. By avoiding distractions, you're not just avoiding stress. You're actively creating a reservoir of peace and focus that you'll draw from throughout the day. Making the most of your mornings isn't about adding more to your to-do list. It's about subtracting the noise that doesn't serve you. It's about prioritizing what truly matters before the day's demands start pulling at your attention. This is where the Stoic practice of focusing on what's within your control comes into play. You might not be able to control the flood of emails waiting for you, but you can control how and when you choose to engage with them. So tomorrow, challenge yourself to start the day on your terms. Resist the urge to dive into the digital world first thing. Instead, anchor yourself in the present moment, savoring the peace and potential that the morning holds. Remember, every day is a new opportunity to live more intentionally, more serenely, and more in line with who you aspire to be. Let's make our mornings a testament to that ambition, guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and an unwavering focus on what truly matters. Stoicism, at its core, is about understanding what is within our control and acting with virtue and intention in those areas. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, these guys weren't just talking about enduring life's hardships with a stiff upper lip. They were advocating for a proactive engagement with life, taking charge of our actions and our mindset. Waking up consistently is a practice that embodies this philosophy. It's a declaration that we are in control of how we start our day, that we are not at the mercy of whims or external pressures. Building a life, as Stoicism suggests, step by step, with contentment in each action, is a powerful concept. It reminds us that big changes start with small, consistent actions. Waking up at the same time each morning might seem like a small thing, but it's a cornerstone habit that sets the stage for everything else. It's about creating a stable foundation for your day, where you're not rushing from the moment you open your eyes, but rather starting with a sense of control and purpose. But here's the thing, consistency is challenging. It's supposed to be. The early days of trying to wake up at the same time each morning can feel like an uphill battle. Your bed feels more comfortable than ever, and the temptation to hit snooze just one more time can feel irresistible. This is where the Stoic practice of perseverance comes in. It's about reminding yourself why you're doing this, about the person you're becoming through this discipline. It's about seeing beyond the immediate comfort and focusing on the long-term benefits this habit will bring into your life. Becoming a morning person, then, is not just about the mornings themselves. It's about embodying the qualities that make you resilient, focused, and intentional throughout your day. It's a practice in self-mastery, in aligning your actions with your values, and in cultivating the kind of life you want to live, one morning at a time. So how do we make consistency our ally? Start by setting a clear intention the night before. Remind yourself why waking up at a specific time is important to you. Is it to have more quiet time in the morning for reading or meditation? Is it to exercise, or simply to start your day in a more relaxed and controlled manner? Then create an environment that supports this habit. Maybe it's going to bed a bit earlier to ensure you get enough sleep, or keeping your curtains slightly open to let the natural light wake you up gently. And when it gets tough, remember the Stoic belief in the power of our own will and the importance of acting according to our principles. Each morning that you wake up at your chosen time, you're not just starting your day. You're reinforcing a commitment to yourself, to your growth, and to living a life of intention and purpose. Amidst all this talk of discipline, consistency, and waking up with the sun, it's paramount to remember one thing: we're human. And being human means we're beautifully complex creatures with brains that often prefer the path of least resistance, the instant gratification route. This is precisely why embarking on new habits like transforming our mornings can initially feel like an uphill battle. Yet, there's something incredibly freeing in acknowledging this fact. It's not a flaw, it's just part of the human experience. Now, let's channel some Stoicism into this concept. Stoicism teaches us the importance of self-compassion and understanding alongside its calls for discipline and resilience. Marcus Aurelius, in his personal writings, often reminded himself to be patient and forgiving with his own shortcomings. He knew that berating oneself for every slip-up was not the path to growth. Instead, he advocated for recognizing our errors, learning from them, and then letting them go. This approach is crucial when we're trying to cultivate new morning routines, or any habit, for that matter. Those first few days, or even weeks, can be tough. Your alarm goes off and every fiber of your being wants to stay cocooned in the warmth of your bed. And let's be honest, there will be days when you'll give in to that desire. That's okay. The key is what you do next. Do you beat yourself up, spiraling into a cycle of guilt and self-criticism? Or do you take a breath, forgive yourself, and see the next morning as a fresh opportunity to try again? Forgiveness and patience with ourselves are not signs of weakness. They're indicators of strength and wisdom. They mean we're in it for the long haul, ready to navigate the ups and downs with grace. This Stoic practice of self-compassion is about understanding our nature, working with it, and gently nudging ourselves toward the habits and life we aspire to. Moreover, taking it easy isn't about making excuses or allowing ourselves to perpetually fall short of our goals. It's about recognizing that growth is a process filled with learning curves and setbacks. It's about understanding that each new day brings with it a new set of challenges and opportunities. And it's in this daily renewal that we find our strength and resilience. So, as you work on embracing those early mornings, or any new habit, remember to take it easy on yourself. Celebrate the small victories, learn from the setbacks, and approach each day with a heart ready to try again. This isn't just about becoming a morning person. It's about cultivating a mindset that's prepared to face life's challenges with a blend of determination and kindness. Consider the simple act of placing your alarm clock across the room. It's not just about making it physically harder to snooze. It's a statement. It's a commitment to start the day on your terms, to rise despite the comfort of the bed's embrace. It's a small act of defense against the inertia of sleep and comfort, a step toward embracing the day with intention. Similarly, making your bed each morning might feel like a trivial task, especially when you're the only one who'll see it. Yet it's so much more than smoothing sheets and fluffing pillows. It's an exercise in care, in telling yourself that your environment and how you engage with it matters. It's about creating a space that reflects the order and respect you're cultivating within yourself. These small victories, as Marcus Aurelius would likely argue, are the building blocks of a disciplined life. They're the everyday choices that, while easy to overlook, cumulatively mold our character. Each time you choose to do these little things, you're casting a vote for the type of person you want to be. You're choosing to be someone who values discipline, order, and respect for oneself and one's environment. But why focus on these small acts? Because they're within everyone's reach. Not all of us can control the major events in our lives, the upheavals, the unexpected turns, but we can control how we respond to the start of each day, how we treat our immediate surroundings, and how we prime ourselves for whatever lies ahead. This is Stoicism in action, focusing on what's in our power to control and letting go of what isn't. Moreover, these practices aren't just about building discipline for discipline's sake. They're about cultivating a mindset that's prepared for life's bigger challenges. If you can commit to these small acts of discipline, you're training yourself to uphold your commitments in more significant areas. You're sharpening your ability to follow through, to remain steady in the face of adversity, and to approach life with a calm, collected demeanor, qualities that define the Stoic ideal. So, as you consider the role of discipline in your life, start small. Look for those everyday opportunities to practice self-control and order. Remember, it's in these moments, in the quiet of the morning, when you decide to rise and face the day with intention, that your character is forged. These practices are not just chores or tasks. They're rituals, imbuing your day with purpose and your life with a sense of direction and meaning. The idea here is simple yet profoundly impactful. Sharing your goals with someone who not only supports you, but also holds you accountable, can significantly amplify your chances of success. It transforms a personal journey into a shared adventure, making the path to fulfilling your morning routine and ultimately your life's purpose less daunting and more enjoyable. Think of your accountability partner as your ally in the pursuit of self-improvement. This person is there to remind you of your commitments when the warmth of your bed feels too comforting to leave in the early hours. They're there to encourage you when progress seems slow and to celebrate your victories no matter how small. This relationship is a two-way street. It's about mutual support and encouragement, grounded in the understanding that we're all striving to be the best versions of ourselves. The Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, often emphasize the importance of community and relationships in the development of character and virtue. They believed in the power of wisdom shared, in learning from one another, and in the strength that comes from knowing you're not alone in your struggles. Finding an accountability partner in today's world is a nod to this timeless wisdom, recognizing that while the journey towards self-discipline and purpose is personal, it need not be solitary. Moreover, an accountability partner can help you see blind spots in your routine or approach that you might miss on your own. They can offer new perspectives and insights that can catalyze your growth in unexpected ways. This partnership is about more than just checking in to see if you woke up on time or followed through on your morning meditation. It's about engaging in meaningful dialogue about what's working, what isn't, and how you can both support each other in making adjustments. So, how do you find this accountability partner? Look for someone who shares your commitment to growth and self-improvement. This could be a friend, a family member, or even a colleague. The key is to choose someone you trust. Someone with whom you can be open and honest about your goals, struggles, and successes. Once you've found that person, be clear about what you're hoping to achieve and what kind of support you need. Set regular check-ins and be there for each other, offering encouragement, advice, and, when necessary, a gentle nudge back on track. Remember, finding an accountability partner is about more than just external motivation. It's about building a relationship that inspires and uplifts both of you. It's about creating a shared space where honesty, vulnerability, and mutual support are valued and nurtured. In this space, your morning routines and broader life goals become intertwined in a collective effort toward living a more intentional, disciplined, and fulfilling life. The Stoic practice of reflecting on mortality is a call to action, a prompt to live our lives with purpose and intention. It encourages us not to squander our time on trivialities, but to concentrate on creating a meaningful legacy. Every morning when we wake up, we're presented with a fresh opportunity to engage with life in a meaningful way, to contribute positively to the world around us, and to pursue personal growth and fulfillment. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, often wrote about the fleeting nature of life, emphasizing the importance of living virtuously and making the most of the time we have. This wasn't meant to be somber. Rather, it was a liberating realization that freed him from petty concerns and allowed him to focus on his duties as emperor and as a human being striving for virtue. The idea is that by keeping the end in mind, we're more likely to live our lives with purpose and clarity, prioritizing the things and relationships that truly matter. Remembering death in the context of our morning routines transforms how we approach each day. It's not just another day, it's a day that we've been gifted, one that's not guaranteed to anyone. This realization can profoundly impact how we choose to spend our time, the activities we engage in, the relationships we nurture, and the legacy we strive to build. It's a reminder to live fully, to love deeply, and to leave the world a little better than we found it. Moreover, this Stoic practice helps us maintain perspective in the face of life's inevitable challenges and setbacks. When we remember that our time is limited, the daily annoyances and obstacles lose much of their power over us. We become more resilient, more focused on our long-term goals, and less likely to be derailed by temporary difficulties. It's a practice that fosters gratitude for the present moment and inspires us to make the most of it. So, how can we incorporate this Stoic principle into our daily lives? It begins with a moment of reflection each morning. Consider the day ahead as a blank canvas, an opportunity to contribute positively to your life story and to those around you. Ask yourself, if this were my last day, would I be proud of how I'm choosing to spend it? This doesn't mean living in a constant state of existential crisis, but rather cultivating a deep appreciation for the now, for the opportunity to live, learn, and love. In embracing the Stoic practice of remembering death, we're not focusing on the end, but on the present and how we choose to live each day. It's a powerful antidote to complacency and a reminder to live our lives with intention, purpose, and gratitude. So let's greet each morning with the awareness that it is a gift, an opportunity to craft a life that's rich in meaning and aligned with our deepest values. This is the essence of living stoically, making the most of our finite time in this world to create a legacy that endures. We're often told to focus on the positive, to visualize success and happiness in order to attract them into our lives. However, the Stoics, in their profound wisdom, offer a different perspective, one that's not only practical, but incredibly empowering. Negative visualization isn't about pessimism. Rather, it's a tool for resilience, preparation, and ultimately, greater appreciation of the present. The essence of this practice is to periodically imagine the challenges, losses, or difficulties you might face in life. This could range from minor inconveniences, like a missed bus or a rainy day, to more significant hardships, such as the loss of a job or a loved one. The purpose isn't to dwell on these scenarios in a way that breeds fear or anxiety, but to mentally rehearse how you would cope with such situations should they arise. This process of visualization prepares you emotionally and mentally, making you less susceptible to being thrown off course by life's inevitable ups and downs. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus all believed that by contemplating the temporary nature of everything outside our control, we could cultivate a deeper sense of peace and resilience. This practice encourages us to focus on what we can control, our responses, our attitudes, and our actions. Incorporating negative visualization into your morning routine can transform how you approach your day. Instead of stepping out the door, blind to the potential challenges ahead, you're mentally equipped to face them. It's like a mental training session where you strengthen your resilience muscles, so when life inevitably throws a curveball your way, you're not knocked off your feet. You've already rehearsed this moment in your mind and can draw upon your pre-visualized strategies to navigate through it. Moreover, this practice has a beautiful, somewhat paradoxical effect. It enhances our gratitude for the present moment. By imagining life without some of the things we take for granted, we come back to reality with a renewed appreciation for them. It's a reminder of how much we have to be thankful for right now, in this moment. This isn't about dwelling in fear of loss, but about using the thought of it to deepen our appreciation for the here and now. So how do we practice negative visualization in a healthy, constructive way? Start with a few moments in the morning to contemplate potential challenges of the day, or broader future possibilities. Visualize how you would ideally respond, what strengths you would draw upon, what lessons you could learn, and how you could grow from the experience. Then, let go of the visualization and proceed with your day, carrying with you a sense of preparedness and an enhanced appreciation for your current circumstances. Incorporating gratitude into our lives, especially as we end our day, can have a transformative impact on our well-being and outlook. Keeping a gratitude journal is a beautifully simple yet profoundly effective way to cultivate this sense of appreciation. It's about taking a few moments before we sleep to reflect on the day and jot down a few things we're grateful for. This could be anything, from a kind gesture from a stranger, a beautiful sunset, the completion of a challenging task, or simply the comfort of our bed waiting to embrace us at the end of a long day. The act of writing down what we're grateful for shifts our focus from what's lacking in our lives to the abundance that's already present. It's a practice that aligns perfectly with Stoic teachings, which emphasize focusing on what we have rather than what we don't, on what's within our control rather than what isn't. This shift in perspective not only sets the stage for a peaceful night's sleep free from the turmoil of unfulfilled desires or lingering frustrations, but it also primes our minds to begin the next day with a sense of purpose and appreciation. But why end the day with gratitude? Because it allows us to close our day on a note of positivity, regardless of the challenges we may have faced. It's a way of reaffirming the good in our lives, of finding peace even in turmoil, and of nurturing a mindset that sees opportunities for growth and joy in every circumstance. This nightly practice of gratitude creates a ripple effect, influencing not just how we sleep, but how we wake up and approach our mornings. It transforms our first thoughts of the day from groans over the alarm clock to a quiet anticipation of what the new day holds, what new things we might discover to be grateful for. Moreover, this practice of appreciating our life extends beyond our personal sphere. It enhances our relationships as we become more attuned to the value of those around us and more expressive of our appreciation for their presence in our lives. It deepens our connection to the world as we become more observant of and thankful for the beauty and wonder that surround us, often in the most mundane moments. So, as we consider the multitude of strategies to enrich our mornings and, by extension, our lives, let's not overlook the power of ending our day with gratitude. It's a practice that embodies the Stoic pursuit of a good life, one marked not by external achievements or material possessions, but by inner peace, contentment, and a deep-seated appreciation for the present moment. As we wrap up this journey through the 10 strategies inspired by Stoicism, it's clear that each step, each practice is more than just a task. It's a pathway to cultivating a life of intention, resilience, and profound gratitude. Embracing these practices doesn't mean every day will be perfect, but it does mean that every day will be met with a stronger, more grateful, and more resilient you. You have within you the power to transform not just your mornings, but your entire life into a reflection of the Stoic ideals of virtue, wisdom, and contentment. Every day, we carry invisible weights, habits that drag us down, cloud our minds, and distract us from the truly important things in life. It's time to let go of these burdens and embrace the clarity and focus that comes with a Stoic way of thinking. Let me take a moment to remind you that this journey we're on together is all about transformation. It's about growing, becoming the best version of ourselves, and breaking free from the habits, mindsets, and barriers that have been holding us back. And today, we're tackling a big one, a life-altering topic that can change the course of your future. We're going to explore 4 things you have to stop doing immediately. These aren't just simple mistakes, fleeting bad habits, or temporary setbacks. These are the subtle yet powerful forces that prevent you from reaching your full potential. They block your progress and prevent you from living the life you're capable of living. These habits, if you stop them today, will free you from your past and accelerate you toward your future. I know that each one of us has dreams, goals, and ambitions. Some of those dreams may feel so far out of reach, but I'm here to tell you, they're not. They're waiting for you to step into them. Today, we're going to uncover the 4 things that are keeping you from stepping fully into your power. As we dive into these transformative insights, remember, if you find value in peeling back these layers and discovering new paths to your personal best, hitting that subscribe button helps us bring more of this content to you. It's free, and it ensures you don't miss out on any part of this journey to empowerment. And don't skip any part of the video. Every second is designed to help you grow stronger, more focused, and resilient, just like the Stoics of old. Are you ready to make some significant changes? Let's get started and shed these 4 critical habits for a brighter, more fulfilling tomorrow. You might not realize it, but every time you let a shadow of doubt creep into your thoughts, you're stepping back from the life you're meant to lead. Doubt is sneaky. It's like that quiet voice at a party that keeps whispering, "You're not quite right. You don't really belong. You're just not good enough." But here's a Stoic truth for you. Doubt is only as powerful as the attention you give it. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to let go of what we can't. Your thoughts? They're yours to shape. Think about the times when doubt has held you back from taking a chance. Maybe it stopped you from applying for that job, asking that question, or starting a new project. Now, imagine what could have unfolded if you had pushed past that doubt. It's all about perception. Stoics like Seneca and Epictetus weren't free from doubt because they were supremely confident. No, they learned to challenge the validity of their doubts and focus on their strengths. Let's break it down. Self-doubt often comes from our fear of failure, of not meeting expectations, ours or someone else's. But what if you viewed potential failure not as a setback, but as a step forward? After all, every attempt, successful or not, teaches us something vital. It's about learning to trust the process, embracing each experience as a part of your growth. Think of doubt as a signal, not a stop sign. It's telling you where you need to focus, where there's room to expand and improve. Now, consider the idea that you are the writer of your own life's script. Each time doubt starts scripting stories of fear and failure, grab that pen and rewrite it with stories of strength and resilience. Remember, no great story is complete without challenges, without moments where the hero could have turned back. Yet, it's not the doubts they faced that define their stories, but their decision to keep going despite them. Another Stoic practice to help manage doubt involves preparation and reflection. At the end of each day, take a moment to reflect on your actions and thoughts. Where did doubt creep in? How did you handle it? Could you have managed it differently? This reflection isn't about judging yourself harshly, but about preparing better for future encounters with doubt. The Stoics were big on journaling, using it as a tool to reflect and gain clarity. This doesn't have to be a lengthy process. A few minutes each day can provide profound insights. And while we're discussing insights, let's not overlook the power of visualization, a technique used by Stoics and modern achievers alike. When doubt tells you that you can't, take a moment to visualize yourself succeeding. Picture the steps you'll take, the obstacles you'll overcome, and the success waiting on the other side. Visualization isn't just daydreaming, it's a rehearsal for reality, a way to condition your mind to act beyond doubt. Finally, remember that overcoming doubt is not about never feeling it. That's nearly impossible. It's about not letting it control you. It's about acknowledging its presence, nodding politely, and then moving forward with your actions aligned with your values and goals. Every time you choose action over doubt, you're not just moving closer to your goals, you're also strengthening your Stoic resolve, building a mindset geared toward growth and resilience. So, next time you hear that whisper of doubt, recognize it for what it is, an old habit, not a truth. Challenge it with your new habit of resilience, armed with Stoic wisdom, and watch as you transform not only your actions, but your outcomes. Doubt has only the power to stop you if you let it. Instead, let it be the reason you move forward with more determination, equipped with the wisdom of the Stoics to guide your path. It's incredibly easy to fall into the trap of looking at others and feeling like you're not measuring up. Scroll through any social media platform for a few minutes, and you might find yourself feeling as though everyone else's life is more exciting, more successful, or simply happier than yours. But here's something crucial to remember. What you're seeing is a curated display, not the full story. This comparison game is not just misleading, it's harmful. It skews our perception of our own lives and can make us feel inadequate without just cause. Stoicism teaches us a valuable lesson here. Focus on what affects your own progress and virtues, not the apparent successes of others. Imagine if Marcus Aurelius, Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, had wasted his time comparing his reign or philosophical writings to those of his predecessors or neighboring rulers. Instead, he focused on his own duties and the wisdom he could cultivate from his experiences. By centering on our own journey, we embrace the Stoic principle of controlling only what is within our power, our actions, reactions, and personal growth. When you catch yourself comparing your journey to someone else's highlight reel, try to redirect that energy. Think about your own achievements and the obstacles you've overcome. Each person's life is a complex tapestry of experiences, challenges, and triumphs. By comparing, we reduce this rich complexity to a simple, often inaccurate scoreboard. More importantly, we risk overshadowing our own experiences and undervaluing our unique paths. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to use comparison, if at all, only as a tool for self-improvement, not as a measure of self-worth. For instance, instead of feeling envious of a friend's new job, use that moment to reflect on your own career goals and the steps you can take to achieve them. This turns a potentially negative comparison into a constructive plan for personal progress. It's about transforming envy into inspiration. Reflect on this. The only true comparison that brings value is the one you make with yourself, where you were yesterday versus where you are today. Are you kinder, more knowledgeable, or more disciplined? This self-reflection is fundamental in Stoicism. It keeps you grounded in your own progress and focused on what truly matters, your own development and contentment. Another practical step to lessen the habit of comparing yourself to others is to limit your exposure to the sources of comparison. If social media makes you feel inadequate, adjust how you use it. Follow accounts that inspire and teach rather than those that spark envy. Use these platforms to connect and learn rather than to assess your self-worth. Remember also the Stoic practice of negative visualization. It's about imagining the worst-case scenarios to appreciate what you have. This doesn't mean dwelling on the negative, but rather using it to cultivate gratitude for your present situation. It's a powerful antidote to the dissatisfaction bred by comparison. When you feel thankful for what you have, the achievements of others seem less like a threat and more like shared human potential. Breaking the habit of comparing yourself to others isn't about ignoring the success of those around you. It's about reshaping how you perceive and react to that information. It's about fostering a mindset that values personal growth and inner peace over external validation. This way, you not only adhere to Stoic wisdom, but also create a more fulfilling and contented life for yourself. Remember, in the grand narrative of your life, the only character you're truly responsible for is you. How you develop that character, how you enrich your own story, that's where your focus should be. Carrying the past around is like dragging a suitcase filled with old books you'll never read again. It's heavy, it's exhausting, and it doesn't serve you one bit. We've all got that suitcase. Inside, you'll find our mistakes, our regrets, and those moments when things just didn't go the way we hoped. Now, imagine setting that suitcase down for good. Feels freeing, right? That's what we're talking about today. Letting go of those past burdens to make room for a brighter, lighter future. Stoicism offers a robust framework for dealing with the past. Stoics emphasize living in the present because that's all we truly have control over. The past? It's done. You can't change it, but you can change your perspective on it. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Look back over the past with its changing empires that rose and fell, and you can foresee the future too." What he's suggesting isn't that we dwell on the past, but that we learn from it and then move on, applying those lessons to live better today. Reflecting on the past is only useful to the extent that it teaches us. Beyond that, dwelling on old failures or missed opportunities is a trap. It saps your energy, focusing your mind on scenarios that no longer exist, except in your thoughts. So how do we stop living in the past? Start by acknowledging it. Recognize the things that happened. Understand the emotions they stir up. and then practice letting them go. This could be as simple as saying to yourself, yes, that happened, it hurt, but I am no longer in that moment. I am here now. Another Stoic practice that can help is the discipline of assent, which involves consciously choosing which thoughts to accept and which to reject. When a thought about the past arises, assess it. Is this thought helpful? Does it improve my well-being? If not, you have the power to reject it. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. Rather, it means not allowing them to control you. It's about taking a moment to say, this is how I felt, but I choose not to hold on to it. Furthermore, transform how you interact with memories. Instead of replaying a regretful scenario over and over, try to view it through a lens of growth. Ask yourself, what did this experience teach me? Whether it's resilience, compassion, or a newfound understanding of your limits, there's always something valuable to be gained. This shift in perspective turns a previously negative memory into a stepping stone for personal development. Lastly, engage in mindfulness and meditation, both key components of Stoic practice. These techniques ground you in the present and help dissolve the emotional weight of the past. Mindfulness teaches you to experience life as it happens and to appreciate the now without the shadow of yesterday. It's about noticing the world around you, your reactions, your feelings, and accepting them without judgment. To truly embrace the present and prepare for the future, it's essential to let go of what's behind you. Remember, every moment spent ruminating over the past is a moment lost from your present. So cut that baggage loose. Practice these Stoic principles to center yourself in the now, and you'll find that life becomes a lot lighter. The past doesn't have to define you. You're defined by how you live now, how you react now, and how you prepare for what's next. So, set down that old, heavy suitcase. Your journey ahead requires nothing from it. Have you ever found yourself saying, I'll start tomorrow, but when tomorrow comes, you say it again? That loop, my friend, is one of life's trickiest ruts to escape. Procrastination isn't just about laziness or poor time management. It's about emotions battling against our intentions. It's the fear of failure, the dread of stepping out of comfort zones, or maybe even the fear of success that holds us back. But here's a thought inspired by Stoicism. What if we didn't wait for the perfect moment to act? What if we started embracing action as the path to clarity? The Stoics taught that it's not events themselves that disturb people, but their judgments about the events. With procrastination, it's often our judgments about the task at hand that hold us back, thinking it's too difficult, too time-consuming, or maybe not worth the effort at all. But what if we could shift that perspective? What if we viewed each action as a necessary step toward virtue, toward becoming our best selves? To tackle procrastination, begin by breaking down your goals into smaller, more manageable tasks. This is a classic Stoic approach to overcoming overwhelming feelings. Just as Marcus Aurelius advised, the task of a philosopher to piece together our natural constitution. Apply this to your goals. Want to write a book? Start by writing a page. Need to organize your home? Start with one drawer. The key is to make the first step so small that it isn't intimidating, almost trivial. Then there's the Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, which involves visualizing the negative outcomes of not acting. Imagine the consequences if you continue to procrastinate. How might it affect your personal growth, your career, or even your relationships? This visualization isn't meant to scare you, but to inject a dose of reality into your planning process. It's about using foresight to fuel your motivation rather than your fears. Furthermore, Stoicism doesn't just ask you to contemplate the bad. It also encourages you to reflect on the benefits of taking action. Each small step you take is progress, and progress is invigorating and self-reinforcing. Once you start and see the benefits of your actions, it becomes easier to keep going. Remember, in the words of Seneca, begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. This approach transforms seemingly mundane tasks into vital parts of your daily life's philosophy. Moreover, consider the Stoic concept of the inner citadel, a fortress within us that remains impervious to externals and our emotional responses to them. When you feel overwhelmed by what you need to do, retreat into your inner citadel. From this place of strength, you can assess tasks with calmness and clarity, free from the paralyzing effects of overthinking and emotional turbulence. Finally, embrace the Stoic ethos of amor fati, love of fate. This doesn't mean being passive or resigning yourself to whatever happens. Rather, it's about loving what you do and doing what you love wholeheartedly. When you start to align your actions with your values, procrastination becomes less of an issue because you're no longer acting out of obligation, but out of genuine desire. So let's challenge ourselves to turn "I'll do it tomorrow" into "I'm doing it now." Because in each moment of action, you're not just ticking off a task, you're building a life. Each step, no matter how small, is a step toward becoming the person you aspire to be. It's about making the most of the now, because now is all we truly have, and now is always the right time to begin. And there we have it. 4 monumental shifts that can truly transform the way you lead your life. It's all about stepping away from those old habits that no longer serve you and embracing new ways that propel you toward a more fulfilling, more purposeful existence. Whether it's silencing the whispers of self-doubt, stopping the endless comparisons to others, releasing the heavy chains of the past, or kicking procrastination to the curb, each step you take is a powerful act of self-liberation. I want you to think of today's discussion not just as a set of instructions, but as a conversation among friends striving for betterment. We're in this together, each of us working on becoming the best versions of ourselves, one day at a time.